All right, welcome everybody to
Episode 11.
Episode 11 of the Planet Hero Live. Wow, these cameras are really off.
What?
I don't know what. Do you see? You're like so small in the frame. I might have to. I might have to take a moment to adjust that. But yeah, welcome. Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
The day has arrived. After all this time, the Snyder Cut is real. Sorry, Giovanni. The Snyder Cut is real. We are reviewing it. We have both seen it. Yes.
Yes. I didn't watch it the second time, like I said I was going to.
You would have been a madman if you did.
No.
All right. You want to vamp for a second? I'll fix the camera.
Yeah.
Talk about the giveaway.
Yeah. So giveaway, as we've talked about in previous weeks. It should be. Is it in the description? No, it's not. It will be in the description. There's also like a separate video. So we're giving away these two WandaVision's 50s theme Funko Pops. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and then there is a video from last week. It'll be on the video feed, explaining how to enter the giveaway and basically just how to fill out your information. So basically, it's just like a Google form. And the link will be in the bio of that video, and then you fill out your name, your email, and why you love the channel, and then you'll be entered into the giveaway. So far, we only have like 3 contestants, so we want to get that to more, obviously. So if you're new watching this, if you're new and just subscribed, and we've been getting like new subscribers these past week, like probably like 1 a day. So feel free to enter that. And yeah, that's as much as I can vamp. Do we fix it?
Boom. I think we fixed it. There we go. That's much better.
Okay.
Probably move over a little. All right. Cool. So speaking of the fans and the subscribers, we have our merch site, as you guys know. I would say it's been doing pretty good. We made some money off of it. And we are so glad it's not even about the money. I mean, the money's nice, but it's not even about the money because we are just happy to have, as many fans as we do have willing to, support us and buy merchandise and stuff like that. So we thought we would treat you to a unboxing of sorts, or an unbagging, I guess. So this is an item that I ordered that I have not looked at. It is completely sealed right now. And based on the shape, I think
this has got to be great for if you're listening on the podcast feed. I do apologize.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
He's like opening it like right in the mic. Got it. There you
open, yeah. Very secure packaging from Teespring. Oh, look at this guy.
That looks very large.
Oh, it's just. It's more than one.
Oh, it's more than one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. All right. So we have the very first.
Whoa. Look at that.
That's right. Little tease here. Hang on. More packaging. Very secure. I can't understate the
security.
The weatherproofing.
Yeah.
The security that's gone into this. Wow, this is nice. Look at that, folks.
Oh, that is clean.
That is a Planet Film Network throw pillow. Oh, look at that on the camera.
That's very clean.
Damn.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I am so consistently surprised at the print quality of the Teespring items that are in our shop. I'm not even like messing around with you guys. Like, I'm not like just trying to pimp it just to pimp it. Like, I'm like very impressed.
No, so am I.
Wow. It's kind of nice. Let me see here. Yeah, so it does have this is like a lining, so I think you could wash it too. I mean, there's a tag on there, so if you guys order one, I would read the tag, but look at that. Give that guy a... Look at that. That's pretty nice.
I'd fall asleep on this if I was sleeping on the couch.
Exactly. I'd fall asleep right on my Planet Film Network commemorative throw pillow. Boom. So yeah, happy to do that. It literally just arrived right before TJ did, so I just wanted to open it up on air. So if it was a really bad product, we would have been risking that for you guys because we appreciate the fan base so much. But it was not. So go ahead, check out the merch in the description. Check out as well the giveaway details in the description as well. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get on with the show here. Now, for those of you who don't know, we should probably say to a lot of you guys might have been expecting the Falcon and Winter Soldier review today because we told you that was what you were getting. But
We lied.
We did lie, but we only lied because we wanted to give you guys even more content. So basically what we're going to do is tonight, because the Snyder Cut is so in-depth, it's over 4 hours long. Like we wanted to give it as much time as possible.
Yeah.
But because it's kind of like a Planet Hero type thing, we just decided we would do this for Planet Hero today, and then we are going to be releasing. I think we settled on like a 15 to 25 minute somewhere in that range. Yeah. Review for you guys for Falcon and Winter Soldier, which will be dropping on the channel tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe. So that'll be dropping tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we'll share it on all of our socials and all that stuff. So yeah, look forward to the Falcon and Winter Soldier review tomorrow. On with the Snyder Cut.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So how do we want to work this?
I'm
I'm
gonna read the IMDb first,
Okay.
and then we'll give our like initial
thoughts and
Yes.
star rating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Zack Snyder's Justice League, 4 hours 2 minutes, rated R. Streamed Wednesday going to Thursday, so 3 a.m. Thursday, 3 a.m. Eastern.
I got things to say about the
Pacific.
release time.
Yeah. So Zack Snyder's definitive director's cut of Justice League, determined to ensure Superman's ultimate sacrifice was not in vain. Bruce Wayne aligns forces with Diana Prince with plans to recruit a team of metahumans to protect the world from an approaching threat of catastrophic proportions. Directed by Zack Snyder, written by Chris Terrio, screenplay by Chris Terrio, Zack Snyder story. And it's starring a lot of people. I'm just going to give you like the main cast. We have Ben Affleck, of course, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, and Ezra Miller. And it's streaming on HBO Max right now. So do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Man, all right. So
I
you
fully
guys
expect
know that we don't tell each other,
Yeah.
our thoughts on this. So this is an interesting choice. What were you saying?
I expect us almost to like, because there's no way we already got like we're not going through like beat by beat just because like, we're not making this like 6 hours. Like, but
so we'll
probably jump around and stuff like that. So do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay.
You can go first with your initial thoughts.
So before watching this, I rewatched the 2017 one. I think like 2 days before, and 2017 it reaffirmed how much like it 2017 was like bleh, not good.
Mm-hmm.
So I was interested going into this. Like I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like I didn't know how much was gonna be different.
Yeah.
Because I was always under the impression that he had only done 20% of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know that he literally shot almost the entire movie, and then that's when he got kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize.
Well, clearly he shot more than the entire movie.
Yeah, like
he shot like 4 hours worth of movie.
So basically, what I want to say is I think this is a good movie. I think it is superior to 2017 in a lot of ways. I was very surprised watching it how much was not in 2017.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, this
I saw a great graphic for it. I'll let you finish, but I'll explain it later.
I was like, they literally just like chopped up his entire, like there was nothing.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy how much wasn't. But then there were some things that Zack Snyder took out in this that I thought worked in 2017.
Which we will talk about as well.
Yeah. Which I was like, oh, like I wish that was in there. Basically, my main like gripes with it are the use of slow motion, which oh my God. Like if you take out slow motion, the movie is probably way short. Not way shorter, but it definitely takes away like a good chunk of minutes.
Probably takes away like, I'm not even shitting it. What? We're all good here. I'm not even joking. Maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
could be more, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. One thing Danielle once she pointed it out, it annoyed me as well, is that every time Wonder Woman it's the like it's like the choir behind her.
Like the TikTok I sent you?
Yeah. I was like, please stop. Like stop.
Yeah.
Just you don't have to do that. Every single time she does something, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. Like there was just things that like they took out. Like I'll just give one example. Like when by the way, this is full spoiler. So,
yeah, there's a full spoiler review of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
One thing he took out like that I thought worked for me in 2017 was when they resurrect Superman, and you know how Batman ahead of time he's like Alfred, bring in the big gun, and it's Lois.
Yeah.
This time she just kind of shows up, which for me it worked in 2017. I was like, oh, he's got a backup plan, like that works. I didn't like the fact that she's kind of, I get it, she's established a routine, like every day she brings coffee to the cop, and she goes to the memorial, and then like the one day she doesn't, he's like up there. But I was just like, I kind of liked it more that Batman like said ahead of time. It was like, hey, because they didn't even, on the other hand though, they didn't even like Zack Snyder cut out the whole like when Wonder Woman's like, oh well, you can't be there because when he wakes up he'll immediately like want to kill you. You remember that in 2017 when she said that? But at the same time, in my head I'm like, well, at the end of Batman vs Superman, weren't they like good?
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, I mean, I could see like how like that doesn't work as well, but I just liked, I guess, that Batman like had a backup plan, because in this one, he just is very behind. Like he just shows up like out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like everybody else got there, and then he like took his sweet time getting to the.
He like runs out from behind the broken cop car, and he's like, all right.
Overall, I think it was a vast improvement from 2017.
Yeah.
But I wanna say this. I love this because I feel like that's the sentiment that everybody is like, this is his masterpiece, and I'm just like, it's really not. Like the things that hurt this movie are things that he's known to do.
Yeah.
In my like example, like the slow motion.
Yeah.
Like I want to be like, oh my god, this is so good. Like this is the movie I was waiting for, and I liked it, and it was good, but it like wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
Wow. Okay. What's the star rating?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5
out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5. So still good.
Yeah.
But I was like, I wanted it to be like 4.5, 5. Like, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'll just jump right in. I am very surprised. I think we disagree.
Wow. Okay.
I think we disagree on this. Apart from a few things, I gotta tell you, I really liked this movie.
Wow.
I thought this movie was very, very good. I have no problem. I'm not even joking. I know sometimes I joke about the reviews. I literally cried at one scene.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't.
I was, but also I think that might just have to do with I don't know. I feel like I have the one thing we'll get to it, but the thing that I cried at. I mean, I didn't like openly weep, but I like teared up at. I was like, oh my, like wow, holy crap, like. Well, I guess I could say what it is.
Nah.
It was the scene where, the Flash, like has to reverse time, and he said, and he's like, you know, saying it like you hear like the inner monologue, but he says it like out loud. He's like, talking about his dad, and he's like, your son was one of them. He was one of the best of the best, and then he like reverses time. Like I felt that. Like that was like really a moving scene to me. But I will say everything else that you said, I absolutely agree with. Yeah. It just didn't
hit you.
It didn't affect me. It didn't take me out of it. It didn't diminish the rest of the movie that much for me. Because I think my mentality was, well, I'm in this for 4 hours no matter what.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, I the slow-mo was like, oh, all right, all right. Like, but then I'll flip to
like the Flash slow-mo, obviously that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
it's fast.
Yeah, like
but
that
there's
kind
things
of slow-mo
that just like don't have to be the way they are.
Yes, like some of the fight. I think I could probably say you might be thinking about or referring to like some of the fight like with Steppenwolf and the Amazons. Like some of that was like, all right, can we let's move along. Like, I didn't. Okay, so this is another thing that I will say. For me, the slow-mo, because I'm not saying that this is by any means like a perfect movie. Like I'm not gonna say what my star is until I'm done. But I'm not gonna give it like a 5 out of 5 or anything like that. But for me, it wasn't as much the slow-mo that was like, all right, man, did this really have to be 4 hours? It was the like 2-minute scene of the one Amazon walking up with her hand up to the mother box for 2 minutes straight. It was the 3-minute lullaby that the Swedish fishing woman sang to Aquaman's sweatshirt.
Or even it's not like didn't take as long, but it's like when what's Diana's mom's name again?
Queen Hippolyta.
Yeah, when she was about to leave the, what do you call it? Like where the mother box is.
Yeah, like the mother box shrine. Yeah.
She like stops to look at the one girl. It's like, no, go.
Yeah, like go.
Come on.
Exactly.
And it felt like it took forever for her to get out of there.
Yeah.
When in 2017 she was like, boom. Out.
Yeah, she was like out and then on the horse, like ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was just some issues with it that I think there was just some like minor issues that I had with it as a whole that I'm sure we'll get to and break down more of as we go. But I just think that it had some definite issues, but overall I think I really, really enjoyed it. Like some of the stuff we haven't even started getting to remotely, like everything with Cyborg,
right?
For me, like worked perfectly, pretty much. Like pretty much for me, like the only problems, and I think it sounds like for you as well, like for me the only problems that I have with the movie are like stylistic choices, which, like you said, it's things that Zack Snyder has gotten himself not in trouble, but like, things that people have knocked him for before, like the color grade of the film, like the slow-mo, like some of the overly dramatic, like hitting you over the head with some of the scenes, that kind of stuff. And like some of the music choices for me, I think just were a little bit off.
Yeah, that's with a lot of people. I didn't really notice it as much. I think I just kind of tuned out the music most of the time. Yeah. But there's that like the choir singing whenever Wonder Woman like touched the anything, I couldn't.
But I will say too. Yeah. First of all, also we have 3 or 4 people watching right now. Sound off in the chat. Let us know your Snyder Cut thoughts. Let us know, even if you just have to, chat like, oh, it was good, it was bad. Get in the chat, get engaged, share the show, get more people talking about it. But I will say about the Wonder Woman music, is that any this might have annoyed you too, so you might be totally, valid. Is that any different than any time she did anything in any of the other ones? But
like they didn't do like the choir.
Well, that's what I mean. Ones. But isn't that like just kind of the same thing?
Yeah, because
like...
I think that's catchy. Like that's like her theme. Like, not like this choir singing for like 5 seconds when she does something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
That could just be me, but
Are you sure you're a 3.5?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It's just there was just small problems I had here and there. Not like obviously like well actually what do you have a star for me?
I go 4.5 out of 5.
Okay. Like I said, I really want I want every time I think about it, I want to be like, this is so like this is what we were waiting for. Like this is what everybody like I wasn't part of the whole release of Snyder Cut movement. I was like, oh, if it comes out, that'd be cool. But I was really looking forward to this and like I was in it for the 4 hours. I wasn't like really drawn out of it at any point. I was like, oh, that just like takes me completely out of the movie. The other thing that I thought, I think I'm alone on this island. I thought some of the CG, and I think maybe Danielle said the same thing, but I don't remember. I thought some of the CG was kind of iffy. Yeah. Like I thought Steppenwolf looked way better.
Oh yeah,
than previously.
Absolutely. I should say for context too, I haven't seen the original since like November 2017. Yeah. I think that has a big thing to do. Yeah. I honestly do think that has a big thing. That TJ literally just watched it like 2 days ago. So for me, the only thing that is in my mind is a big red blur of bad movie. So I think I was a little more impressed. And like I remember some of the scenes that, like you said, and I'm sure we'll have a section where we will talk.
I think
about
we
that.
should maybe like go through like each character, maybe what we liked, what we didn't like, something like that. But
let's do first. Let's break down some of the stuff with the characters in a second. Let's first just get it out of the way, and let's talk about some, because you kind of alluded to it. Let's talk about some scenes that were in Whedon version that you felt that could have stayed in this, or for the obviously we're talking hypothetically here because Zack Snyder would not use any of Whedon's footage,
right?
But in terms of how we viewed the story of the film, some scenes that you said, like why did he cut that? Like I wish they had kept that.
I mean,
that worked for
I
me.
think it's more like stuff that maybe was in this that I was like, I get why they cut. Like for example, the one the one scene where Diana's trying to talk to Cyborg. And she's in the Batcave with Alfred, and it's like this whole tea thing for like 2 minutes. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why is it in the movie?
I liked that.
I just was like, why?
It wasn't like 2 minutes. It was like
it
30
seemed
seconds.
long.
It was like a question. Did you watch this entire movie in one sitting?
Yes.
Okay, that might also be it. I watched it in 3 sittings.
Okay, yeah, no.
So you might have been like, let's fucking.
We had like
go.
2 10-minute breaks mixed.
Okay,
in there,
yeah.
but,
like you might have been. So you might have had a little more of like, all right, come on, like with the tea, like let's. I was like, oh, all right, let's go back to this. And I was like, oh, look at that. Wonder Woman and Alfred are having a little.
Michelle makes a good point about the color because this is a very not like it's dreary. Like Justice League 2017 like pops, like it's like colorful. Yeah. As opposed to this is like very.
I think
darker.
that I think visually, because I haven't seen the movie since 2017, but obviously I've watched clips a lot this week. I think visually, I think the 2017 one looks like garbage.
Okay.
Because I think they just like turned up the softness filter and like they turned up the hue on all the images to make it more colorful, and it's like you can tell that's not what it was shot on. Yeah. And then with what they did with the whole third act, with it just covering it in all red. Yeah. Like I was like, what the hell? What am I watching here? Why? Like the color it all just blended together. Right. For me, this at least, yes, it was darker, but it was like high contrast. Yeah.
I'm
darker
just gonna like play this
colors.
in front of us and just let it go, and if we see anything. One thing that I was like the other scene, it's the same scene, but it's like it just made me realize the small differences. Is when she's talking to Cyborg, he like takes over the screen. Okay. But in 2017, she's like chatting with him, which I was just like, it was just a weird difference, and I just like, it was just something so little that I was like.
So what are you saying you like better?
I don't like either better. Like they're the same thing to me. Like this one is like Cyborg's like, I'm here, like meet me here. Yeah. And in 2017, they're like like she's typing on the keyboard and he's doing whatever he's doing back. I just was like, I guess he just took that out because he's like, I'm not doing anything he did. Like, so I'm assuming Whedon went in and did that. And then Snyder was like, well, I'm not doing that. So he made it so like Cyborg's just like, I'm here.
See, I like that better. I like everything they did with Cyborg. I liked that Cyborg, because to me, Cyborg's powers are not like, oh, let me open up a video or not a video. Let me open up a chat window and talk to Wonder Woman like through IM. Like Cyborg's powers are like, okay, let me become the computer she's working on real quick and just say, I'm here. Bye. Like, and then untake it. You know what I mean? Like he can't like control technology. He is the technology. Right. You know what I mean? Like that. So I just, like you said, I don't really think one over the other matters at all. But I just liked, I thought that the Snyder Cut version of that particular moment kind of fit the character a little bit better of Cyborg.
Yeah, like currently, like I don't like, I'm not like fully like remembering like what was in each. I'm sure I will as we go through the movie. But like those are like the main things kind of that I was just kind of like there's just a few that are just kind of like, oh, I wish that was in it still, or like, oh, that didn't need to be there.
Like I know I was talking with my mother earlier today. I think it was today or yesterday. And she mentioned that one thing that she was missing was, and I haven't seen it, so I don't remember the exact specifics, but I remember it was a good scene of Bruce and Diana like walking along the lake at his house. Yes.
They took that out, right?
Yeah. That was from the Whedon version. Right. So like that was one that I could see. Like I remember liking that scene and thinking that was a good beat. Another one that she brought up and that a lot of people are bringing up is they didn't like that they cut the whole bit with like the underground fight under the tunnels and the sewers and stuff.
Oh, the fact that they cut where Flash's Batman's like save one.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes, I agree. That should have been in there.
Really? I don't.
Why? He's a kid. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, but he's not like but okay, this is my thing. He is like supposed to be like 17 or 18.
Right.
But he's Barry Allen. He's one of the smartest human beings in the world. He's not like he's not going to be like he's not going to be like, "Oh, I don't like he clearly
he's not Spider-Man in Civil War.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like Spider-Man in Civil War is like a child being put into a battle with Avengers. Like this is like okay, they're the guys that are the flying bugs with giant red eyes, kill them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like and I'm not saying that was a bad scene. I thought it was a nice scene. For me, I like the character of Barry Allen and the Flash a lot. See, this is what I'm talking about. Why is this a minute long? I just love the character of the Flash / Barry Allen like so much, and I just didn't like the characterization of him in the Whedon version. I just didn't like it. This one for me was like perfect because that's what Barry Allen would. And also the thing that killed me that I don't have to see the movie again to remember 4 years later, when he fucking trips in the 2017 one. Are you kidding me? Like what? Why would
I forgot about? Did he trip in this too or no?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
And remember because he tripped and then he landed in Wonder Woman's.
Basically on her.
Yeah. Which is the same move that Whedon put in Age of Ultron with the Hulk and Black Widow.
Yeah.
That's his signature move, I guess. I don't know. But like, what are you doing? Like, why would the Flash trip? Like, he's not somebody who gets distracted and does that. Like, he's a capable hero on his own.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and if you want to draw that comparison, I am one of those people that it doesn't bother me to the extent of some people online, but I am one of those people that's like, does MCU Spider-Man really have to be that helpless on his own, that he's that reliant on Tony? Like, I was definitely one of those people that was like, come on, give him something to do on his own.
Now, Michelle also said a scene that I did like in this was when Wonder Woman goes and retrieves the arrow that was shot, and she kind of puts it in the wall, and it opens this whole thing.
Yeah, the whole I like Tomb Raider scene. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I like that. I know a lot of people were like, she fell down there with those heels on like that. I was like, it's a movie. Like,
she's also Wonder Woman.
She's also Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Like she's what?
But yeah, I liked like that stuff. Like there was a few scenes that I thought like I liked that I thought added like a little bit more story. Do you want to start going through like characters?
Sure. Let's start with Wonder Woman. Let's start with Wonder Woman.
Okay. So let's see. I don't know. Like
my mother just messaged me on Facebook and said I don't agree with you about the Flash.
Oh.
Well, you don't have to. Thanks for the subscribe.
So Wonder Woman I thought was again very like good throughout the I don't think you got any more of her. Like the person whose story was shown the most in this was Cyborg.
Yeah.
Obviously. As like Wonder Woman obviously had 2 movies. I mean, she had 1 movie leading up to this, but she's also had a second that came out before this. So I feel like she didn't need as much.
Yeah.
I liked everything I saw really from her, honestly, especially at the end when she cuts off Steppenwolf's head. I thought that was sick.
Oh, yeah. She got some really great hero moments that were removed from the 2017 one, and I'm like, what? Why? Yeah. Like, I'm not saying the 2017 one. I don't care if the 2017 one was rated R or not. Right. Like, I thought it was a cool extra little perk that this one was rated R. Like, I thought it was cool to get a full blown big superhero movie that was heroes swearing and heroes like with blood and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like some of the blood in this is like really
it's pretty gory. Yeah, I was very surprised.
Like, but she like just the opening the bank scene, for example.
Right.
That was about a minute and a half in the 2017 one.
It's way longer
Here
than
it's
this,
like 4 minutes, and it kind of fleshes out who the bad guys are a little bit more. It gives I forget the actor's name, but Roose Bolton from Game of Thrones. It gives him a little more screen time.
That's what he's from. I was like, I've seen him before in something.
Yeah. He's Ramsay's dad.
Right.
But it gives him a little bit more like it just kind of sets it up, and that's not stuff that's necessary. Like I'm not saying that it's necessary to tell a good story. The 2017 one did work as well. I think it was just cooler to see an extended version of her saving people. You know what I mean? Because the 2017 one is just boom, she's Wonder Womaning about.
Yeah.
And she's just stopping a bank robbery. Like that's where we're at with her right now.
Yeah.
And then this one, I just thought she got some extra time to kind of shine on her own.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool. And also I did like we have to kind of acknowledge that a lot of this movie is kind of thrusting the characters towards a storyline that isn't going to get wrapped up, because this was the first movie of a planned trilogy.
Yeah, I want to talk about that like a little later too, but yeah.
Well, I was just going to say one thing. We definitely could talk about that kind of stuff in its own thing, but real quick, what Zack Snyder said he was trying to build on is I did like the little bits of kind of setting up some chemistry between Bruce and Diana
in 2017.
In this one.
Oh, did they do that in this one? They did it more in 2017.
They did do it more in 2017. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was different though. That was like Batman being like, oh yeah, sorry. Like he was like being like, it's like what Whedon does. Like he's like a bumbling idiot. It's like, oh, woman, like, you know what I mean? Like this one was just such like subtle stuff of like the way that you can tell there's already a genuine connection with them, and then just like something as simple as like the scene where they both grab for the mouse. And I can't remember right now if that was in the 2017 or not.
That was in the 2017.
But either way, that means it's a Zack Snyder scene, so it's whatever. But I just liked that, a lot. Like, I just liked the kind of subtle stuff. And I just liked... All right, let's transition out of Diana, and let's talk about Bruce.
Okay.
I just love Ben Affleck as Batman. He is... to me, he is the best Batman we've gotten on screen. I think he's the best Bruce Wayne. Definitely. There's argument. I'll hear an argument for Bale as Batman, but in terms of Bruce Wayne, I think Ben Affleck is the best Bruce Wayne.
I enjoy Ben Affleck. I think I've kind of more come around on him in this role. I don't remember.
So has Ben Affleck.
all those months ago when we did that ranking. I don't remember when we did that Batman ranking.
Oh, that's
I don't remember where I had Ben Affleck.
I think like
Affleck.
3 or 4.
Is it Affleck, right? Or Affleck?
Ben Affleck.
Lack.
Okay.
So
like Ted Lasso.
Affleck, or like
I lost
Affleck.
the word.
Yeah.
Flack.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, again, like another character that like, like he had a movie obviously leading up to this.
There he is, right there.
And then, you also have at the end of the movie, which we'll talk about, like leading into
the next
movie, then the Batman, and then as well as
Justice League
this movie
3. Sets up this movie like goes from Batman v Superman to this movie, then sets up the Batman, then also sets up the next Justice League movie. Like it's like all over
it's
the place.
funny because like watching the movie when they're fighting and everything, there was moments where I'm like, man, he really is like kind of almost useless. Like Batman, like compared to like Wonder Woman and Cyborg and the Flash, it's almost like he's just a guy with the utility belt that's just here. Yeah, he's like doing his best against these aliens.
Yeah. And I love to. It's something that was not in the 2017, which is surprising because Joss Whedon directed Avengers and Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Right.
There was shots, of them on top of, whatever that is, on top of like the nuclear tower or whatever, all of them together. But it was in this version that we finally got like the shot of all them jumping into action together. Yeah. Which is like such a quintessential like superhero team movie shot, which you would think Joss Whedon would have put in because that's what the Avengers are known for, is their big, huge, team up circle shot or whatever.
Yeah.
but I just, in that shot where we finally get the shot of the team, I just love that it's Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman jumping into action, and then Batman is just, it's the Batmobile. Like, it's just the car. Like, it's like in the team shot, it's like if Iron Man was just like driving his Audi as everybody else was launching into. I just thought that was visually funny. But yeah, man, I really like this movie. All right. What are your thoughts on Bruce? What are your thoughts? What were your thoughts on Bruce's characterization in 2017, and then what are your thoughts on it now?
2017
and the differences. Because I have one big difference.
I don't know if there's really like this. Like we're watching, like we're just kind of like on my laptop. We're just kind of watching like the entire movie, and it's just kind of going through. It's very the beginning when he like hops off the helicopter and he's talking to Alfred. Like this scene, he looks like a badass in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like that's what I mean. Like I just love
like
his
when
Bruce
he started
Wayne.
when he was shaving. I was like, why are you shaving? I was like, I like you better with the beard. If I'm being honest. But I don't know. He's almost like cooler in this movie. Again, without like kind of the forced scene with him and Diana. Yeah. Which is kind of weird. Like they have like.
Can you remind me of where was the scene? What did the scene entail in the 2017 one? They're in like an orange room, and it's one of those scenes where, you know, no offense to Ben Affleck personally, I know he was going through a lot. It's one of those scenes where he looks like super puffy.
Yeah. Oh, did you know ZACK SNYDER'S in this?
Yes, I did. Right there he is. It's like one of the scenes where he like looks super puffy, and he's wearing like this like undersuit of the Bat.
Yes.
What is that? What was that scene?
He's on. I think he's on the plane. He's with what? Isn't he with Diana?
He's with Diana. Yeah. But what is that about? I completely forgot, but I remember that scene.
I think he's just taking it off or something.
Yeah, but what are they talking about?
I don't remember what they're talking about.
Because I was like, for some reason that scene stuck with me because he does look extra kind of puffy in that scene. You know, no offense to Ben Affleck. I know he was going through a lot. He gained weight and stuff. It was months later, so it's whatever. But I was remembering that scene while watching this, and I was like, I wonder if that was something that scene had a place originally, because I thought that was a scene where he was talking about retiring from being Batman. And there's no hint of that in this at all. No, that's why I'm trying to remember.
Well, even how would you even do that if you're going to lead into the Batman next?
Exactly,
you know?
That's what I mean. Like, I don't understand. Like, and I think that was kind of a Warner Brothers thing of like, for some reason, Warner Brothers lately they always want Batman to be wanting to retire from being Batman. Like it was kind of annoyed me in Iron Man 3. Like. And I like Iron Man 3, but, like, the whole thing of, like, why... Like, I get that Pepper doesn't like it. I get that. But, like, why does Tony, like, want to not be Iron Man so bad? Like, that kind of stuff bothers me when the heroes are, like, it's so, like... Oh, my God, I got to hang it up. Like every
time.
5 seconds, they're like, I got to hang it up. And it's like, what?
Why?
You're saving the world. Like, help people. Like, what do you mean? You don't get to hang it up.
Like, so, like, we're kind of, again, we're a little all over the place. This is a long movie. There's a lot to remember.
We're going to be jumping around, like, a ton.
So, like, this scene when they're kind of showing, like, Superman, like, being mourned around the world, like, that, I like that. Like, why would you cut that out of the 2017?
Well, if you remember, they put they took all this out, but they put his funeral in it. Oh. Remember? There was, like, a Superman funeral.
Yeah, but the funeral is only, like, the closest people, like, it's not everybody. Like, this shows me that, like, oh, it's the world that is missing him. It's not just, you know, the United States and
like select people
who are close and everything, you know, like that, like especially Lois and his mom. And I like Ben Affleck in this role.
That's what it was. It says they were talking about how she should have done more to. That's right. I remember
the thing with Steve Trevor.
Yeah, she because after Steve, she wouldn't step out of like the shadows or whatever. Like she should have done more to be a hero and whatever, and that Batman can't do it alone forever. That was what it was.
Right.
All right, I remember. Yeah.
So you didn't like that, right?
No, I didn't like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like my thing is, Well, isn't so? I feel like people. And I just literally saw something about this on Twitter right before you came over and right before we started this about Thor and Infinity War. But I'll apply it to Diana in this. Is that like a character making a poor decision isn't a bad thing for the movie. That's just a character flaw, which is something for them to overcome. Like,
right.
I don't understand. Like, this movie didn't have to justify the fact that, like, she would, like, and BVS, too, because that was kind of where she first came out as Wonder Woman. Like, it doesn't have to be justified that she didn't want to be in the spotlight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just a character flaw that she made a mistake, wishes that she didn't, so now she's making up for it. Like they were saying, like, with Thor, like, he didn't go for the head because he was gloating, and it's like, well, that's just a character flaw. He learned from it because he was like,
right,
he was an arrogant person, and
then
now
he's like,
yeah, exactly. And it's like Diana made a mistake that she was too reluctant to be a hero, and now she wants to make up for it. Like, that's a good character beat for her. And I just don't understand why people are like, you know, because that's another scene that I've seen people that are like, you know, I didn't like that, like, Wonder Woman just acted like everything was okay now that, like, she was just back out there. And it's like, well,
right.
It all just depends. I don't know. Let's talk about Barry.
Barry? Okay, so what did you think of the whole, what's her name? What's his,
Iris?
like? Iris. So this was, like, probably a 10-minute scene, I feel like. It felt like. It was definitely shorter.
Maybe.
It just felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's probably like 6 or 7 minutes.
I liked it. I was like, this is something I just don't know why you cut out. Like, I feel like his story beats in 2017 were visits dad in jail, immediately is recruited, runs around, and then races Superman. And that's it. In 2017.
Saves a Russian family.
Oh my God, the stupid family that, again, completely wiped out in this movie.
Can we just say real quick, I just love the fact that it is literally just as simple as Steppenwolf just chose an abandoned town.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you had to say. You didn't have to be like, the town is full of people and we're destroying all these buildings and doing all this. Let's take time away from Barry and Superman, because remember, it was Barry and Clark, but because remember, that was a funny shot in 2017 where Barry's running with like one guy and then Superman is carrying a building. Like,
that was funny, even though, like, I'm sure that town had way more people in it than were in that building and in that house.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you literally see them running away. It's like, hey, what about everybody else?
Yeah, like, I'm just so glad that they just went, nope. And it makes sense. Why would Steppenwolf, like, if he wants to be doing this in secret, wouldn't you think he would do it in a place where there's nobody around? Like, it just makes sense. Like, the 2017 added crap to just make it a generic superhero movie.
Yeah.
Or it's like, you know, which I'm not saying the Avengers movies are generic, but the Joss Whedon directed ones are pretty much the same thing as this one.
Yeah.
It's one big bad guy, has a bunch of minions, and the heroes have to save civilians.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Like, do you like this, like, the whole bank robber scene? Like, you like her, like, that's, like, I like it.
Yeah.
Like, some of the...
I think it doesn't
like,
have
the bodies
to be that
going
long.
flying
like,
is, like, they just looked awful. That looks awful to me. Everything like that, because I don't care how limp you are. They're limper than any human body, I think, can be limp.
Yeah.
Almost. Like, it's really, it's almost like Gmod, like, ragdoll.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I like the stuff, her saving and everything. What were we talking about? Sorry. Barry.
Barry.
Yeah, I liked, like, did you like the whole hot dog thing? Did you think that was funny?
Yeah, like, I thought that was funny. Like, I could absolutely see, like, both the comic version and the Grant Gustin version, like, maybe not the Grant Gustin version anymore because he's a much older character now because it's been years. But, like, in, like, season 1 or something, I could totally see him, like, trying to save some civilian, but then also, like, grabbing a corn dog. And, like, you know what I mean? Something like that. Like, yeah, I just thought that was funny. I thought it really fit with the character of Barry Allen from the comics.
Yeah. I thought it was, like, I liked the whole, like, when Iris's car gets hit by the truck, or she runs into the truck, I think.
No, the truck, like, T-bones her. Oh, yeah, she runs into it because, he goes through the red light. He goes through the red light.
When he, like, runs out and he, like, pokes the glass and the glass, like, shatters out. Cool. That was really cool.
That was a shot, like, from the original trailer.
Right.
That it took us almost 5 years to see.
Yeah, I don't know why his shoes had to come off. That didn't really make much sense to me. I assumed he, like, ran out of them. Maybe.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Maybe because he twisted, like, because you see he twists his feet.
Yeah.
And that's why they break, but, like, in the comics and stuff, like, he doesn't bust out of his clothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they sometimes show that, like, the bottom of his shoes, like, wear off.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he needs the suit.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, when he's doing the interview and then he quickly saves her and he comes back and he's with the dogs at the pet store, I think it is. It's not like it's well known now. Like, he's like it's not a secret, right?
What?
Because the thing is, it's like, well, now that lady knows that you are.
No, nobody knows. He's not even called the Flash until, this is the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover with the CW Flash.
Yeah.
That Grant Gustin Barry Allen is who gives this Barry Allen the name the Flash. So the Flash is not even a thing.
Okay.
So yeah. So that I could understand. Like, they're not even to a point with the Flash, which that kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, why does he have such a suit that's so far along in development if there's not even stories of, like, the Streak or the Blur or, like, that's kind of his beginning stages, is that people are like, the mysterious Streak reappears in Central City, like that kind of stuff.
That's where this movie, like, not Zack Snyder's in general, but, like, both of them.
Yeah.
That's where the movie is kind of, like, rough around the edges, where it's like you don't have these, again, you're bringing these three characters in and you're kind of just letting them loose. Like, the only ones that have had movies are Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman.
Yeah. So
I don't know anything about Aquaman, nor do I know anything about the Flash. Or Cyborg, sorry, even for that matter.
Yeah.
Cyborg either. So again, it was DC's whole thing, and again, I know they kind of wanted to copy Marvel, and I like them more, honestly, where they're at now instead of where they were. Is they're kind of just doing these dark kind of spin-offs, but they're kind of connecting them, but they also have this universe with, like, we have Robert Pattinson and some completely different universe that doesn't exist with these ones. But yeah, overall, like, I liked kind of, like, Flash, like, I liked the whole, like, save one, and like that kind of stuff.
I feel like I'm a crazy person. I feel like I'm a crazy person.
I don't know. I liked that for some reason. And his, like, running around. The one thing about the running around, I go, there is no way that guy's hitting him. That thing is hitting him. There is no way.
What?
That monster is shooting him.
When he shoots him with the turret, and he nails him.
Yeah, I was like, no way.
No,
I was like, he's running, like, literally faster than light.
Yeah,
there's no way that thing is hitting
like
him.
if you did some.
I mean,
kind of
he grazes him, but I was like, even that.
But, like, if you did some sort of a shot that showed. Well, actually, I guess it's not shown.
Yeah.
But I guess I could forgive it because he's running so fast that that entire perimeter that he's running in, he is technically in every inch of space at the same time.
Yeah.
But they don't establish that. They don't show you that he's running so fast that to the outside world, it would just look like the entire wall is made of Barry Allen's. You know what I mean? Like, so I could understand that. But yeah, that was a little iffy to me. Like, he gets shot twice in this. Like, he gets injured twice. And one thing I did love, though, which might contradict myself, I might be contradicting myself when I say this, I liked when he got no, actually, I'm not contradicting myself. I liked when he got shot and Victor and Bruce were like, Barry, come on, like we need you right now. And they cut back to him and he is, like, in tears, like crying, like, oh my God, I'm going to fail everyone right now. Like, and he's like, come on, Barry, you got to heal. And he's, like, crying. But he's doing it all himself. Like, I just like how self-sufficient he is. Like, he wasn't like, I can't do it, guys. Like, he was like, come on, like, I'm letting everybody down. Like, I got to pull this together to do this. And then realizing that he had the power to fix it, but realizing he did fail. Like, because he got, it wasn't his fault that he got shot, but because he got shot, the unity happened and all of Earth was evaporated. Yeah. Exactly.
Let's continue on to Cyborg. So Cyborg, this is mostly like if you had watched the 2017 and then this one, you're like, oh, I didn't even know. Like Cyborg was almost completely cut out of 2017.
2017 was like, oh, I like that guy. I like those powers.
And
that's
then
cool.
nothing.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, like this
that
scene where she runs up the wall, and it's like, are you okay?
I said to myself, where the fuck is she going? I said, why is she running up the wall?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, and she's like, are you okay? It's like, who cares?
Yeah,
no
run.
offense. Like, they know what they are dying
and also,
for.
they never set up that, even if they had, set up, oh, this is Diana's sister or something like that, then I would have been like, oh, okay. But,
yeah. Oh, here it is. Yep, here it is.
Yeah.
Raise, yep, and then we're going to run slowly.
The slow motion is,
as they run, and they knock down the walls to get out. That. Just go.
Yeah.
Why? This thing comes down from the ceiling, attacks the one girl that's running behind you. You stop,
also,
turn around, stab the thing, and then it's like, just go. They know. But also, you're not leaving for no reason.
She just gave them the command to seal themselves in.
Yeah.
Why does she care if someone dies on her way out? She literally just said, seal it, get the hammers, break it.
It's one of these things that I think that was cut. I get why it was cut, because it doesn't make sense.
To me, the perfect movie in here is 3 hours and 10 minutes.
3.5,
like
in
Endgame
that
level.
area.
You know what I mean?
I would agree with that.
The perfect movie is in this movie.
There's fluff that doesn't need to be there.
Yes,
basically.
absolutely.
So Cyborg, you get all of his backstory.
I would say right off the bat, I don't think any Cyborg stuff is fluff. I know that you weren't saying that.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, to me, if you want to just say a blanket statement about that, I think you are crazy that any one of his scenes were cut. He is the complete backbone of the movie.
I know people didn't like the whole bank thing.
I loved
him,
it.
Hacking into the thing, and I thought that was nice.
I thought that was the first. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I loved that. I was like, that is the first time I've ever seen in a superhero movie, aside from maybe Mr. Incredible, giving insurance advice.
Right.
That is the first time in any superhero movie that I have seen somebody, a superhero, have one moment of genuine saving a human being's life.
Yeah.
He takes that woman out of poverty.
Right.
With all of this power he has, he just chooses, he's just like, let me just see what's this lady been up to. He's just kind of testing it out. He's not being creepy or anything. But he's just like, what's this woman been up to? And he realizes oh my God, she got, kicked out of her apartment. They changed the locks on her. She's got these kids, she got fired.
At first I didn't know who we were looking at. I was like, why are we watching this person?
Yeah.
I
loved it though.
The one thing I do with the whole Cyborg thing is I didn't get, and I know I've actually heard this first, and I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Is the whole his mom's called in to, again, his mom completely out of the 2017. Dad,
she wasn't even in it.
Dad, he's not even. She's not really in this either.
True, yeah.
But his dad basically cut out of the entire.
What did Silas have? One scene,
probably, and then even the guy who people are saying would be Adam.
Yeah,
he was not even. He literally wasn't in.
He wasn't in it. Yeah,
he was completely cut out,
and he had 15 minutes of scrreen time in this. They even set up him becoming Adam. They literally do everything.
Yeah. The one thing that just didn't, I was looking back, I was like, that is weird. Is the whole when his mom's talking to the principal and he's like, well, he can't just go in and change that late girl's grades or their friend's grades. Mm-hmm. And she was like, his mom's like, well,
he was just trying to help her.
He was just trying to help her
what
because
yeah.
What had happened? What happened to the kid? They lose their house or something like
that. Her parents died.
Yeah. And I almost was like, I get it, but it's also not a reason to go in and change their grades, I guess. Like,
yeah,
I get it.
I think that was just more of like just showing the kind of like mother she is. That's like,
Yeah.
That's like, listen, Victor. Yeah, he shouldn't have done that, but like, he was just doing it to help her.
Right.
Like, what have you done to help her?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind
and
of
he's
thing.
like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that, but yeah.
Reminded me of a scene in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh no.
By the way, that we'll talk about tomorrow. But
yeah, I thought all the Cyborg stuff was like really good.
super emotional.
No
like,
booyah in this.
The end stuff.
The end stuff was
him at the end with
that was rough.
Separating
when he's
the
like
mother
separating.
boxes.
Yeah, I was like, oof, that's rough.
The line that he has where he says, I'm not broken and I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That was right up there for me with when Barry reverses time and says talks to his dad. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, damn.
Stuff like this I think would just work so much. I would be such more fan if we had those individual things building blocks to this movie and then the second and the third.
Yeah.
Like that mindset that they had just makes no sense to me.
Warner Brothers, you mean?
Or even if this was like Snyder's, was that not his thing to go, we're going to do Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League. Okay, but and I mean, he didn't direct was Wonder Woman after Justice League or before? Okay, so we're going to do, I mean, he didn't do Wonder Woman, but we're going to do BVS, Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League, or Wonder Woman, Justice League. But like both Warner Brothers and him, like, I get you're building this, but it's like, what about these other characters that we're literally being introduced to from security cam footage?
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
But I will say, I'll throw this back at you. How is that any different than being introduced to a 2-second shot of Pietro and Wanda at the end of Winter Soldier and then only getting all of their backstory and them getting established as villains in Age of Ultron?
That is fair.
What's the difference?
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I just think it's because the Marvel movies.
I mean, okay,
struck the
I take
formula.
this back. 2017, it doesn't help because 2017 didn't build on them at all.
Yeah,
Ultron did.
Wait, I'm sorry. Were you talking about the Snyder Cut or 2017?
I'm talking about 2017.
Oh, okay.
2017.
Yes, sorry. I thought you meant like I thought you were talking about introducing him in this. I was like, this is like way fleshed out. Okay,
like, but 2017.
Yes, yeah. Cyborg and Barry both are just like because you're introduced them for the first time in that.
Right.
And Aquaman actually, because I forgot Aquaman was later.
Yeah.
You're introduced to all three of those characters for the first time in 2017, and they get like Aquaman definitely gets the most build up, but like Barry is like nothing. You get the scene with his dad in prison, and then Cyborg is literally nothing. Like the biggest thing that Cyborg gets to do is the scene on the street with him and Diana, and that's it. In 2017.
Yeah, but like I said, like Age of Ultron, like you learn more about them. Like whereas 2017 Justice League, you didn't learn anything about them.
Yeah.
That hurt his dad, like dying for him, like that whole thing was really rough on me. I was like, oof, that's tough. Like, and at one point when I was watching, I was like, why didn't he just stand outside of the glass? And Danielle was like, well, Steppenwolf probably would have like knocked him out of like hit the remote out of his hand or something like that, and he wouldn't be able to, heat up the thing.
I think he would. He sets it, and then he like turns around to start going, like out of the room. I think.
Right.
I think he was trying to, but then, if you saw Steppenwolf break the whole wall down with his axe, like I think that's why. I think he was trying to get out of the room, but as soon as he saw Steppenwolf, he was like, nope.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's like, this is done.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. All right, so let's talk about. All right. I'm thinking of two characters. Give me number 1 or number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2? Okay. Let's talk about Superman.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
All right.
I know when
better
he comes
or
back.
worse in this for you?
Better.
Okay. Right.
I did miss the whole justice line because I like that in 2017.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of justice too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. He says, I'm a big fan of truth. I'm also a big fan of justice.
Again, like I missed. I was
there
like,
it is. your heart break.
Yeah, I was like, why
Bruce
is
is
shaving?
Yeah.
I did like I even though I knew he's not in like half of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I wish he was like in the beginning. Like I wish he was in the whole thing.
Yeah.
I love the whole what's the actual suit called? Like the recovery suit? Is that what it's called? I love
in the comics at least. In this one, I guess.
I really honestly didn't really know much about that at all.
Yeah.
But when he appeared in it, I was like, yes, like I love that.
I think it looked great too.
I love him going to the Batcave, I think it was, to meet up with Alfred, and Alfred's like, oh,
that was just
here.
like his house.
Or his house.
That was just Bruce's house. Yeah.
And
I guess maybe they're one and the same. I don't know.
Beats the living shit out of Steppenwolf. I love that.
Yeah.
When he's pumping him and he's laserizing him, and
I love when
like
Bruce
that,
looks down and he's just like, "Oh shit!" Like Bruce just hears, and he sees the waves coming. Bruce, he just kind of goes,
yeah,
he's like
one of the best parts is
down
like
there.
when Steppenwolf goes to like axe him, and he just dodges like this.
Oh my god, yeah, when he uses his super speed and he just go and Steppenwolf's like it's like oh my god, so good. But let's talk all right, so let's talk about his let's talk about him coming back to life.
Okay.
And then we can kind of talk about him in the final battle cuz those are his two kind of big scenes because pretty much I guess let's just talk about first cuz it's pretty unchanged. You know what I'm gonna say, like the farm scene with him and Lois.
One thing I will say about this movie is, oh my god, thank God, like there was really not a hint of mustache of weird mustache CGI.
Yeah.
So thank God for that.
It's so weird because it's like,
wait, how does that? That's what I'm confused about. How does that work?
How does what work?
How did they? Oh, they reshot that. That's what it was. Like his like
anything
him
with the
rock.
mustache
Okay, they
is
reshot.
all
Okay, sorry.
That's all reshot. So yeah, I think the scene, and it was different in 2017 too because that was a mustache scene with him and Lois at the farmhouse.
Yeah.
Him in that's one of the biggest meme pictures about the face is him in the red flannel like in the cornfield or whatever.
CGI cornfield.
Yes, exactly. So what did you think about that in this? I thought it was a heartwarming moment. I enjoyed the moment with him and Lois, you know what I mean, where he's, I loved when she comes out of the house and he goes, so is that a yes? And she's like, what? And he's like, the ring. You're wearing the ring I proposed to you with. Like I loved that scene, and then I loved obviously him and Martha, like the real Martha, because we'll talk about another character.
We'll talk about that. I think we might like when we get into like the ending and all that stuff. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't have any gripes like with it. It was like you said, it was pretty unchanged.
Just felt a little more emotional. It felt a little more connected. Like the 2017 one, the reshoots were just so obvious. It just felt like a really disjointed scene, and the emotion didn't hit me. In this one, because it all just flows together, the emotion hit me.
I mean, 2017 is just
a
disjointed mess to me.
Yeah.
Like I just think it's like cutting everywhere. It makes no sense.
And like to me, like Diane Lane obviously continues being, which like props to this universe for like constantly bringing back Diane Lane as his mom, like in all these different movies, like because she gets some really good scenes and stuff in Man of Steel, BVS, and this. It's I just like that a performer like Diane Lane isn't getting wasted in a role like this. They keep using her.
Yeah.
And she is really good at acting.
Speaking of like the resurrection scene, like that's a much longer scene in this.
Yeah.
Like the lead up, like where they trigger like the whole like warning, and then everybody evacuates except Cyborg's dad, and then he sees them walk down the hall. He's like, "Oh, never mind. Like it's real. Like don't come in." And then when they're resurrecting him, it's like it's like a whole like it's like a 5-minute build up for this resurrection. Again, something I thought was really good. I liked Flash like kind of running and. Although one thing that like, or maybe he did do, maybe, because in the 2017 one,
I don't think he reversed time in the 2017
okay, because he did, because
I was watching it and I was like, he didn't time travel at all in the 2017
No.
one. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I was like, I thought, how's the cube going up?
That made more sense to me because I was like, in the 2017, they literally were like, oh, as soon as it touches, like literally,
as soon as it touches the water, the
you
tip
have to
touch
touch
the water,
it.
you have to touch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
they didn't talk about that at all. They were in this one. Yeah,
and in the 2017, it splashes, like it's well submerged.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, maybe they meant like it has to touch him and in
yeah,
the
when
water.
it touches him and is in the water.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like the time reversal thing, I like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot because it was just like, and I like that Barry like doesn't. It kind of reminded me of, like Ant-Man in Civil War, like where he was like about Ant-Man, turning into Giant Man. Like Barry's like, I have this thing that I can do sometimes, but I don't really like doing it because it's very scary and I don't know if I can control it. Which I like that. I just like, and it's terrible because it's like, everything that's going on with Ezra Miller, like nobody really knows what to think one way or the other because nobody's really addressing it. But it's like, the performance aside, which I liked Ezra Miller's performance in this, but to me it's like the performance aside, I really just loved the characterization of Barry in this, especially in that scene, in the resurrection scene. I thought it was really nice. So let's talk about Superman in the final battle. So that's, to me, is the biggest change with Superman's character, is everything that he does in the final battle. Because in the final battle, he swoops in, he says, is this guy bothering you? That whole thing. Yeah. And he's like, I'm a big fan of truth, also big fan of justice, that kind of thing. And then he just wipes the floor with Steppenwolf's
Another
face.
reminder to me of why he's not in the movie for half of it.
Yeah. Well, if he wasn't dead, the movie wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
But what's it called? Yeah, so basically 2017, he has those two lines and he comes in and Steppenwolf craps his pants and Superman just wipes the floor with him basically, and then they basically defeat Steppenwolf, and then he goes and helps Barry rescue people, that kind of stuff. And then in the 2017 version, Steppenwolf dies because the parademons consume his fear. Like the parademons kill Steppenwolf.
Yes, they do.
Don't like that.
Yeah, that was kind of. Well, he doesn't even die. I don't think he warps up. Before
they swarm him, and then he
warps.
boom tubes up.
Yeah.
But in this one, I loved it a lot more, and I will talk about Michelle in chat. By the way, there's 5 people watching right now, or 4 people watching right now. Sound off in the chat. Join the chat. Tell us what you thought about the Snyder Cut. Tell us what you thought about the conversation. Join in any way that you see fit. But join the conversation. I will talk about Michelle's chat in a second because it goes into what I was going to say. Well, actually, let me see. I could just read it right now. I got to find it because it was a little bit ago, but I wanted to make sure that I touched on it. Sorry. Just 1 second. Where did she talk about Superman? Oh, here we go. I am not sure how I felt that Superman didn't really have much depth in this one with the actual fight. I get that they were trying to show the others could be leaders, but they needed him alive to scare she says to scare the Unity again. So basically to scare the mother boxes from activating, because that was the whole thing, was that the mother boxes, when he died, they were like, yo, we're good to go. Which makes you wonder, like, why were they dormant for Superman wasn't around. Superman was only around for 3 years.
Yeah.
But that being said, I like everything that he did in this so much better. I liked that Superman. That's always one of the things that I've always said to you over these years is I hate that it's just, Superman's back and he just knocks Steppenwolf and it's over. It's no, it's like Superman is the most powerful person on the team, but I liked that it was still a team effort to kill Steppenwolf.
Here's the thing, I have a love-hate relationship with because okay, so I've been watching actively Superman and Lois, which again, a very good show. If you haven't watched it, you should hop on. But there's a few scenes where he like gets his ass beat, and when I want him to again not be able to not kill somebody with one punch, but then he is getting beat. I'm like, why are you getting beat? You're Superman. And it's a really hard balance, I feel like.
Yeah,
and you have
it's a hard balance to strike with the character always.
Yeah,
in the comics, everything, his entire history, it's like, what do you do? The only way to make it so that anything happens is you gotta either depower him, or you have to make a villain who is equally matched or better. Like those are the only two things that you can. Or kryptonite. That's why they invented kryptonite. That's why kryptonite is that's this person's kryptonite. Because it's literally was invented to what do you do for this character? Oh, you make a little dust that blow it in his face and he's human. You know what I mean? Like but that being said, obviously kryptonite only really existed in Batman v Superman. It didn't come up again in this movie. Actually the kryptonite spear was in the opening shot because it was the shot from BBS. But yeah, so what did you think? What did you think about the differences with how they use Superman in the final battle? Because for me, I liked this version so much better that, yes, Superman is the most powerful, but Superman still can't take on this big of a threat by himself. I like that a lot.
Yes, I would agree. I like this version more with Superman. Okay. Again, I missed the Justice line. I thought that was a cool line.
I like that. I like that line. Yeah. I just thought that was just a very I saw a tweet that was like, when are they going to learn that Superman is supposed to be Ted Lasso who can fly and shoot lasers? And I was like, that is like the best thing I've ever heard in my life, because that's something that Superman would say. Like, I'm a big fan of truth. I'm also a big fan of justice. Like, those two lines are a great example. The big fan of justice line, great. Is this guy still bothering you? Not great. Yeah. Don't need it. Don't need it at all.
Right. But yeah, like him like beating up on Steppenwolf, I thought was really cool. Like the lasers, like he's just lasering over and over and over again.
Yeah. Cuts off his horn.
Laser off his horn. That was crazy.
Off his horn.
Yeah. It kind of like, I don't know if Steppenwolf like was the best villain. He's better in this movie.
Well, let's save, because I want to talk about somebody else and then we'll talk about Steppenwolf.
Okay. I think we have to talk about Aquaman and then we're good. Okay.
Yes,
but Superman again, I thought was very he was Superman in this ending battle.
And I love that he wore the black suit, and I love that. Now, I will say the ending of 2017's Justice League, I never liked it. I never liked the whole, the Lois Lane monologue of like, all you have to do is just look up, and then and that was the last shot, and I'm like, that's a great last shot.
They did again, but it wasn't the last shot.
But it also was the black suit.
Yes. Which leads into the whole story for Justice League 2 and 3, which we'll get into.
Exactly. But I liked, because I always liked that scene, but I didn't like it being the last shot, and I didn't like that Lois was like, all you got to do is look up, because it's like, well, like Cyborg, you don't have to look up, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's a great last shot and last line for a Superman movie,
right?
But I was like, this is about the whole Justice League. Like, why is the last 5 minutes just about Superman's hope or whatever? So let's talk about Arthur. Let's talk about Arthur Curry, the Aquaman.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? So we got.
So disclaimer: I've never seen I still haven't seen Aquaman. I still have to watch it. Again, this is before the movie, so I mean it takes place after the movie. Okay.
Does it?
Oh, Aquaman takes place after this.
Who knows?
I think it does, at least, because that seems to be the first time he's meeting Mera, right? Is that her name?
Yeah, but then in Aquaman they act like they've never met.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, again, no problem with the character. Again, I think you got.
Yo, we got Clarky in the chat. Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome, Clarky. Make sure you subscribe, be part of the conversation. Clarky, let us know, what were your thoughts on the Snyder Cut?
Yeah. Considering your profile picture, I am very interested.
Yes, we will be talking. We're wrapping up our conversation on what we thought of the heroes with Aquaman, and then we're gonna move into some villain talk.
Villains.
Because there are just as many villains in this as heroes, which I loved.
I again, I liked the whole like his talk with like Willem Dafoe and all that other stuff.
Willem Dafoe's such a good character with Volkov.
I liked him like coming in like that was a very brutal scene when Steppenwolf is in Atlantis and fighting Mera, and she like does this whole blood thing, which I was like, I don't know what was going on.
That's something that, I mean, that's one of her powers as well, but they show that too in Aquaman. She can, Atlanteans can like kind of suck the water content out of people, and this she sucks his blood out.
I
too,
love like his
like,
I love his lines, like the whole like my man, like that's
my man.
I love that
I
stuff.
love that. Him and Cyborg, thought you needed a lift.
Yeah,
my man. Woo! He just flies. So great.
And like not impressed. I love that. And the whole thing, like when can
you pause it right there?
Yeah,
thanks.
When he's like kind of accusing Cyborg of like being in cahoots with the I was like, that's kind of I don't know. I was like it's really now the time to kind of call this out and stuff like that.
I also just thought of another scene that I actually did enjoy in the other one. Not needed in this at all, but I just enjoyed the scene. When Arthur's like going on this whole thing about like, and he's like, and you're dressed like a bat, which is crazy, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't know if I should be the king of whatever, and then they do the reveal that he's like, his foot is in the lasso of truth.
Yeah, that was
like,
funny.
That was funny to me. I actually liked that moment with Aquaman in the 2017 one, but it doesn't really fit the vibe of this movie, which is fine. That was just another scene, with Arthur that
I'm glad like him
enjoy.
like stopping the water and everything. I mean, I don't know how you take that out of the movie, but I like that. The one problem I have with that like whole thing is like it shows them crawling up the side of like the big, I don't know what you want to call it, the cylinder or whatever. And then it cuts to them on the top. I was like, can you show me like them
how
getting out?
Yeah.
Because from what you could see, the water's still coming. Is that just me? It looks like it's still coming. So it's like they just like are at the top. And I'm like, okay. And the crawler's nowhere to be seen. So it's like, because I saw Cyborg, he flew out of there. Nobody else was over there.
I laughed out loud when Cyborg just dipped. I was like, where's he going? I was like, what the hell? And then he just like showed back up, but I was like, where the hell did he go?
But no, like Aquaman, like I didn't have any problem with him in 2017, like his story or anything, and I didn't really have any problem.
I feel like he has the least amount of change.
Yeah.
I feel like there was just some cool moments added for him in 2017. I think in this, it's just a lot of, it's just different moments.
Right.
Again, it's just one of those things that's like the perfect movie within this movie is like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff with him at like the fishing village, you could have trimmed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the whole like
the singing and
like the sniffing of the sweatshirt,
and stuff like that.
I
was like,
why?
I was like, I don't really like. I get that they view him as like a god. Like I get that, but it's like, it didn't need to be 3 minutes.
Yeah. Did you like that they got rid of the whole like when they're in that like I think it's like the first scene in the movie in 2017. It's when Batman or Bruce is in like the shack talking to all the, and he like looks at the writing on the wall, and it's like a picture of like Aquaman.
Yeah. Bro,
it's like,
I was watching
I
this
think you're
one.
him.
I was watching this one, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, he's standing there. I was like, he's about to look at that wall and just see the. How do you not? And then I remembered. I was like, I realized that it was not going to be in this, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I was like, it's literally like his tattoos and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's just a picture of him on the wall. Like,
I think argument could be made. Bruce Wayne should know who that is at this point.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, I think he absolutely knows who it is.
No, yeah.
Like he's completely like I need to speak with the guy.
The guy, yeah.
Like it's just like looking at him.
Yeah. Do you have anything else on Aquaman?
Not really. Only because I feel like his character, maybe him and Wonder Woman, had the least amount of change.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I like Jason Momoa as this character. I like Jason Momoa as a performer and an actor. I just thought he was really good in this. Yeah. Boom.
Okay. What do you want to move on to now?
Let's move on to the
small bad.
I was gonna say, yeah. Let's move on to the what did they call him? when they had the 3 versions of the Big Mac, the Little Mac or
Yeah,
whatever.
Little
Let's
Mac,
move on
yeah.
to the Little Mac. Not so little in this version though. Steppenwolf. So let's talk about Steppenwolf. I think for me, in terms of improvement of character from 2017, from Whedon to Snyder, it is Cyborg number 1, Steppenwolf number 2. For me, still not a perfect villain, not a great villain, but a moderately compelling villain with good CGI, which is what I will say. A moderately compelling villain with good CGI. And a great performance by Kieran Hines, who I think is able to kind of perform more with this.
He sounds. Did they do something to the voice?
Yeah, it's a different like modulation. It sounds,
okay, this sounds way better.
It sounds more like Kieran Hines in this version.
Yeah.
Like the other one, it was like I can't do it. Like, but this one, I just thought it sounded. So much better.
It sounded way better too.
I just love the character. Like the design is just so much
like,
better. Like,
like in the 2017, he almost like is a weird comparison. He almost looks like a dog that's like dressed up in like a costume.
No, you're right. You're
weird.
right.
He still kind of looks like a dog, kind of to me. I don't know why.
For me, he does definitely look like a dog. No, you're absolutely right. In the face, he looks like a dog. But this is my thing. When I was watching this, I was like, man, someone at Warner Brothers. I just kept talking about in my head. I was like, this fucker at Warner Brothers, man. I was like, it was probably a bunch of different people, but I just kind of created this, John Warner brother in my mind. That's just like, why did you do this? Like. Like, somebody clearly watched the original, looked at the designs of Steppenwolf, and went like, oh, that guy is so ugly. His face looks all weird. And it's like, bruh, he's an alien.
Yeah.
Let him look a little weird. Like, his face look at Ebony Maw in Infinity War. Mm-hmm. Like, that does not look like a human, but they were like, yeah, because he's an alien. Mm-hmm. Why did they make like, because that's what they did. Like, his proportions of his face in this are like his eyes are like sunken but big, like his nose is big, and then like his chin is like humongous. And then in the 2017 one, they made his features like human proportion. Right. Like he had like regular eyes, like a nose and a mouth, and it just looked like he was wearing a helmet. Yeah. Like in 2017, the 2 horns on the side of his head, I got the impression that was just part of his helmet. That was not part of his head.
He almost more looks like I think he looks like a goat too.
Yeah. Oh, in the 2017?
In both, honestly.
Well, yeah, but 2017 definitely. Like it just looked terrible.
Yeah. Did you like his did you like that you got kind of like a backstory, like you still owe me 100,000 or 50,000 planets to conquer?
Yeah, I love that. I liked
stuff.
that a lot. Like that's the thing that like I don't understand. Like, how do you see that and you're like, we don't need to know this about this guy. Just he's the bad guy. Just put him in. Like, you know what I mean? Like somebody said that. Like a human being in Hollywood who is in some sort of an authority role when we don't need that. Cut it. About so much of this movie. Yeah. And I'm like, I hope that person is not working today. Because Jesus Christ. And I understand that like you wanted the movie to be short, but like I'm sorry. The shortest Avengers movie is still 2.5 hours.
Right, it's still long.
Like, you can't and think about how much setup the Avengers had. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they laid the groundwork in 8 movies before the first Avengers.
You did 3.
You did 3 and gave it a 2-hour runtime, including credits. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen? Why are you cutting all this out? Yeah. Like, this movie needs room to breathe to be a full-fledged movie. They just cut out so much of it and so much of Steppenwolf's backstory that is the most compelling part of his character.
And even going into Zack Snyder, who we'll talk about next, I think is not Zack Snyder, but I said it to you.
He's the main villain.
To you last week, I go, was Darkseid even in 2017? No, he wasn't at all.
Even mentioned.
Yeah, it wasn't even mentioned.
In fact, the scene that where Darkseid, puts the hammer down and stuff, they replaced him with Steppenwolf. There was a shot that was Darkseid that when Whedon took it over, they digitally replaced the character model of Darkseid with Steppenwolf.
Like with the whole war thing, like that stuff too. Yeah. Because that was Steppenwolf in this too. I think that was like one of the biggest problems in 2017 is Steppenwolf isn't that kind of villain. Mm-hmm. He really is just a middleman, or
he's a lackey.
Yeah, he's a lackey.
He's
basically.
like Loki.
Literally,
Literally,
yeah.
he's like
or
that's,
Ronin.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's a good analogy.
That's what I compare Steppenwolf to.
Yeah.
Is where Ronin really didn't like. Honestly, it didn't work for me in Guardians of the Galaxy. Steppenwolf does a little bit more.
I think Steppenwolf works better than Ronin does. Yeah.
But I liked Steppenwolf in this movie. I liked the whole like his background. It did kind of feel bad for him a little bit almost, where it's like, man, 50,000 more planets. Like,
yeah,
he's
you're
got
like,
a long way to go.
I can't even contemplate how.
Yeah. So I did feel for
how
him,
many have
like,
you done so far?
Exactly.
He's like 6.
Yeah, 6.
I don't know.
It's like,
buddy, you got some time on your
do
hands.
you want to talk about Darkseid a little bit? Or do you
sure,
want to talk more about Steppenwolf?
Do you want to talk about his end? Because that's very different.
So basically at the end, like in Zack Snyder, he gets his head chopped off and he flies through. His head flies through the portal. Does his whole body too, or no?
So Superman beats him up.
Yeah.
Then what is it called? The Flash hits him with like a lightning punch. Then Aquaman trident blasts him.
Yeah.
Then Superman punches him.
Yeah.
Towards the boom tube.
Yeah.
And then
Wonder Woman
chops his head off. This is after Superman has already lasered off one of the horns.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman chops his head off, and then his body and his head fly through the tube, and then his head lands at I guess this is a natural transition into talking about the next person.
At Darkseid.
Lands at Darkseid's feet, and Darkseid steps on it and basically snaps his other horn off, and then it cuts away, but presumably squishes Steppenwolf's head under his boot. So yes,
I'm surprised he didn't say not impressed. Or
not
did he?
Impressed. No, Superman said that.
So no, I know. I thought Darkseid said that too.
Yeah.
So at the time of watching this,
okay,
I did not know that there was this plan for 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I was under the impression that they would fight Darkseid at the end as well. I thought maybe Steppenwolf would be. I thought like when the portal opened, I thought maybe Steppenwolf would be discarded and Darkseid would come in. But obviously it didn't happen because he's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be like, I'm gonna have to regroup here.
I thought they were gonna lose.
Really? Okay.
I thought that Steppenwolf was going to, or I'm sorry, I thought that Darkseid was gonna walk through, because this was my process with watching the movie. When I got to this point, I was like, where's all the nightmare stuff? I was like, where does this come into it? I was like, what's gonna happen? I was like, 2017 one. This is the end of the movie. I was like, where are we going from here? So I thought the Darkseid was going to step through. I thought that Desaad and Granny Goodness and Darkseid and like a bunch of the Legion of whatever were going
to... Is that Desaad on the left?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that like the 3 of them and then all the legions of the oh my God, what are they called?
Oh, the parademons.
Thank you. I was like, I don't know how I forgot that. Like the parademons were all gonna walk through, and then I thought it was just gonna be jump forward in time to now. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
To the nightmare stuff, and then that was gonna be the end because Zack Snyder was like, oh, it ends on a massive cliffhanger that will not be answered, and I was like, what? So I thought that they were gonna lose, and then they were just gonna be like, now we're in the nightmare world.
Right.
Sorry, you're never getting a sequel to this.
We'll get into that. I have like a really kind of gripe. Yeah. Like I just, but Darkseid, I thought like he looked really cool.
Oh yeah.
Him fighting in that whole like kind of world war with like the Atlanteans and the Amazonians and the men and stuff like that. I thought that was cool.
And Guardians from the Stars.
You got like some Green Lantern in there. You got Zeus or kind of like allude to Shazam kind of type thing. Mm-hmm. Is that allude to Shazam at all or no?
Well, I mean, Shazam like is based on the gods.
Okay,
so,
right. So
yeah, kind of.
And obviously he kind of gets his ass kicked, and he kind of retreats. And then,
also, shout out to like this scene for just casually bringing back like a bunch of characters that we've seen in other things, like, and just not like what's his name? Lupin, like David Thewlis coming back as like a younger, like buffed out Ares, like with it, instead of his little spindly like British mustache, he had like a huge like Viking beard. But man, Ares, when he gets, I just thought it was cool that they were just like, yeah, he was the villain in Wonder Woman, but back then he was a good guy. Yeah, like he's the god of war. This is the ultimate war. So I liked that stuff with Ares fighting Darkseid, and then when Ares chops down on him and Darkseid just starts gushing blood. Like I was like, bro, this man's about to die right here. Yeah. I was like, why is he? Don't let him retreat. Like, come on, like hit him again. Like, oh my god, I was like, damn.
And obviously searching for the whole what's it called?
The anti-life equation.
Anti-life equation.
Yeah.
Which I don't really get into.
Yeah.
Except in the night, they allude to it in the nightmare scene, kind of. I think. But I think you would have had to like have background knowledge.
Because it's supposed to be like
he can control everybody.
Yeah, the nightmare scene. Well, the nightmare scene is like he happens?
He won.
He won.
Yeah.
And like controlled Superman. Yeah. Which is
which I thought was cool. I'm still kind of confused, like where like did he know it was on Earth or like because actually never mind. He didn't know it was on Earth, right? Because Steppenwolf found it. He just happened to find it, right? He just kind of like
he just like got he just basically happened to find it. Yeah,
it's basically like he was striking oil. Like
that was a little that was one part that was a little questionable for me was the movie leads you to believe that Darkseid, which I could understand if Darkseid spent millennia. Just going to world after world, conquering it. Darkseid's not one that he's going to be like, all right, granny goodness, Desaad, fill me in. What's the 411 on this place? You know what I mean? Right. He's just going to rock up and kill everybody. So to me, because there was one thing where like Steppenwolf says to Desaad, he goes, I found it, the lost planet, or the planet that he says the lost planet, meaning the planet where Darkseid lost, was Earth. It's like, wouldn't you think Darkseid would remember which planet it was? But then again, I guess if like his whole life is conquesting planets, like maybe they all just blend together.
They blend together.
But I was like, wouldn't you think that like he would be like, oh, Steppenwolf's on Earth? That's the place where I lost. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. But it was like, no, Steppenwolf had to tell him that was the place where he lost. Like that kind of got me a little confused. I was like, I don't know if that was as well thought out.
Yeah, like I said, I like the way he looked. I just like I was hoping that they were gonna fight in this because I thought this. I was foolish in thinking that this would be like an enclosed like thing.
Yeah,
like it would wrap up without any questions.
Yeah. How wrong you were.
Let's talk about Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
So. Basically, you see him at the end, and then you see him kind of in the middle when he is. He looks like he is Martha, and he's talking to
Lois, basically telling her, she's got to get back out into the world. Like she can't keep doing this.
And then he kind of morphs into that military guy. He's a Man of Steel. It's been a while since I've and BVS. Okay, it's been a while since I've seen either of those.
General Swanwick.
Okay, and then he morphs into that guy. He walks down the stairs, and the next time you see him at Bruce Wayne's house or cabin or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
And he's talking to Bruce and something about coming to save this world or something like that. What did you think of him appearing in this?
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great like tease of like stuff to come, and I thought it was genius to reveal that Martian Manhunter was a character that we've already known in this universe.
Yes.
Like I thought that was really
kind of
smart.
like a whole scroll thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But in this case, he's a good guy. I mean,
which I've heard. I was watching. I think I was watching SCN, and they were talking about how Martian Manhunter. He's like 1A to Superman. Like he can like fuck Superman up. If he wanted to. I didn't realize that he was that strong.
Yeah.
Because I the only time I've ever seen him in anything is like in those like Justice League, like I think animated stuff. I never really watched them like when I was younger. Maybe
he's one of my like I don't watch Supergirl.
Yeah.
But Martian Manhunter is always my favorite part of the crossovers. Like he's just such a good character. And he's one that they kind of struggle with his CGI because he's a total CGI character.
Yeah.
But I think I like his character a lot in Supergirl specifically. So I was excited to see him here. But oh no, he is complete toe to toe with Superman.
Yeah.
It's just his weakness is fire.
Oh, okay.
Like if Martian Manhunter gets like set on fire or like near fire or anything, he completely shuts down. Like he's like yes, it injures him, but he's also like deathly afraid of fire too, which is like an interesting part of his character.
So this is like one of the things like I was not a fan of about this movie was the whole. I didn't know the whole Justice League 2-3 thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't a fan of him. And I get it was his. This is what was going to be in the first one.
Oh, there you go. Bang.
But I wasn't a fan of hinting at these things to come when we can almost 80. I feel like more than 50% say that most likely will not happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was telling Danielle, I was like, Ben Affleck, I don't think he's ever coming back to play this role.
Well, we know he is in Flash.
Oh yeah, okay.
But
Flash.
They said
small.
Yeah, and it's kind of a passing torch.
Yeah.
To
Ben Robert, right?
No, to Keaton.
Oh, it's Keaton.
Back to Keaton. Technically.
Him?
Yes, Danielle, we did already mention the Wonder Woman theme.
Yeah. Cyborg banned from Warner Brothers lot. And Ray Fisher is like just not coming back.
Apparently, based on the social media vibe, welcome at HBO Max anytime.
He's welcome at HBO Max.
But somehow those are two different things, I guess. I don't know.
And Henry Cavill is up in the air. So basically, the only two remaining, you have Ezra Miller,
who's kind of up in the air.
Kind of up in the air, and you have Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa. So that's 3 versus 3.
Yeah.
I don't like that I like to speculate, but I don't think we're ever gonna get a follow up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's flip flopped where he'll say he doesn't want to do another DC movie, but then he goes, well, it's like okay, you can't like just because there already is like a trending like
restore the
Snyderverse.
Yes, restore the Snyderverse.
Which again I'd be all for, but I think it would be. I'd be a very low percentage if it were to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I don't think you had a problem with the whole like leading. Did you have a problem with that at all? That you're like, this probably won't happen, so I'd rather not see it.
No, I didn't have a problem with it because I think that's DC's kind of bread and butter is like Elseworld stuff. Like they do that all the time. Like, oh, you want to see, like look at the CW crossovers,
right?
Like,
yeah.
Oh, you want to see what happens when the heroes go up against an evil Oliver Queen, an evil Supergirl, and an evil Flash. You know what I mean? Like, or you want to see what happens in the crossover called Elseworlds.
Right.
Like, what happens if Barry Allen became the Arrow and I almost said Stephen Amell, and Oliver Queen became the Flash, like that kind of stuff. So I was just like, okay, this is just a cool kind of Elseworlds thing. And so let me just ask this, and let me ask this to chat too. I'm going to put this to chat. When we get follow-ups, because we know they're basically all the follow-ups to all of this are still in early development.
And we'll talk about, if you haven't seen like the whole storyboard idea, stuff like that, like storyboards for Justice League 2 and 3, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I was reading it and I was like, oh, this could be cool. Like but yeah, what was your question?
In follow-ups and stuff like that, like not talking about like Shazam 2 and stuff, because that's kind of outside of it. In follow-ups to these direct characters, like let's say the Flash, right? Do you think the Flash will be based on these events or 2017? Okay, I should say a continuation of these events or 2017.
I feel like people like I would personally take this as canon.
I feel like they're gonna change it. Yeah, I feel like
you think they will?
No, I think this is canon.
No, I know, but like, do you think they'll base it off this?
Yes.
See,
I think it's early enough right now, and they're gonna see that.
I feel like
people are. I feel like
executives are too high and mighty to admit that they were wrong.
Yeah, but it's all different executives now.
That's true.
Walter Hamada is like a Team Snyder all the way right now.
Right.
So
okay, yeah. So maybe yes, but again, I hope that they go with this because it's definitely just a better movie in general.
Can I just talk about this scene?
Yeah.
For a little bit. So this is the scene where this is the scene that I was talking about where Barry Allen basically, they lose. Darkseid, he comes through the thing, and basically the unity happens because Barry's not able to stop it in time, and you can see it's on the screen right now. But basically, Barry slows down time as time and space is basically disintegrating around him. Oh man, what a great scene! And he basically realizes that the only thing that he can do right now is he has to reverse time to save this because he messed up, and he's basically talking to his father in this scene, talking about Dad, wherever you are, if this works or if this doesn't work, just know, your son was one of them. He was one of the best of the best. And I was like, when he said that, I genuinely, I teared up. I was like, this was the moment I was talking about that I teared up at the movie, was when he is literally taking all of this on his back to fix everything, basically. It's like, it's like the classic superhero thing of I fixed all of this and now I reset everything, but none of you will ever know what I saw.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because only I have it's like Logan in Days of Future Past. You know what I mean? It's like he goes back to the future, and then the one day, he wakes up and he tells Professor X, I'm back, and the professor's like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. 'Cause now he's a completely different person. And I just love character moments like that where it's because now I'm hoping that they base it on this, because it's now Barry is going to have to live with the weight of knowing that, without him, that basically they were screwed.
Right.
Which I just love that. And that scene was just so emotional.
Right.
Yeah, I just really like the way that they portrayed Barry Allen in this.
Okay. But on the topic of future stuff.
Yeah.
So you like seeing it, basically. You like seeing what could be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Should we talk about Joker?
Yeah, let's talk about the
nightmares.
Let's talk about the
nightmare and
let's talk about the Lex Luthor stuff, and then we'll talk about the nightmare scene.
So we get so there's a few. It's not like an end credit scene. It's part of the epilogue, right?
In this, yeah. In the other one, it was the end credit scene.
So we get
because I remember we used to watch it while we would clean the theater,
right?
Because nobody would know it was there.
We get Joe Manganiello riding in as Deathstroke onto the Lex Luthor owned yacht, and he's talking to Lex Luthor. And this time, we don't get
he tells him different. It's a different
dialogue.
line.
It's different dialogue. Everything, which again is. Do you think it's reshot?
No, I think they just did a couple different things.
Okay.
I think Zack Snyder's one of those people that he likes to play with what he wants.
Yeah.
So I think it was one of those things where it was
different takes.
Yeah, because what that conversation is in the original is completely different.
It's way shorter too.
In the original one, it's I'm putting a team. We're starting a team of our own, or a league of our own.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We're starting a league of our own.
And then it zooms into Jesse Eisenberg. He goes, "Shouldn't we have a league of our own?"
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
Shut up.
That was real bad.
And this one, it's a whole conversation. He's like, "I can help you."
Big reveal
where he's like, Batman's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And that's obviously leading into the Batman, which I think Deathstroke was supposed to be the main villain.
Yeah.
Which, like Sean said, not happening. I think we have Riddler is the main villain.
No matter what happens,
the Matt Reeves one.
Yeah. No matter what happens, Ben Affleck's The Batman is not happening.
Yeah.
Namely because there is a movie coming out called The Batman with a different star.
Yeah, and different villains
universe.
and different everything. So there was that, which I enjoyed again, but again, I was like, we're never going to see this. This doesn't, this isn't happening. Yeah. This is not happening. Yeah. This movie with Deathstroke and Joe Manganiello and Ben Affleck isn't happening ever. So I was like, it's kind of like, damn, what could have been? Is there another thing after that, or is Nightmares before that, right? Or is it after? Nightmares after. Okay.
Nightmare's the last thing, and then Bruce wakes up.
Okay, yeah, and then talking to the Martian Manhunter. So Nightmare is the next scene, which I was kind of thrown off. I didn't know what was going on. So we have Batman, Flash, Cyborg, Hera, right? Hera, and
Mara. Hera's Harrison Dula from Rebels.
Oh, Era.
Mara.
Mara, and
Joker.
Deathstroke.
Oh yeah, and Deathstroke.
And well, yeah, Joker's there, but he's not. He's on the cop car. He's not. You don't see. So we have this basically conversation between Batman and Joker, and
best Batman and Joker scene ever, in my opinion.
Okay,
that's just my opinion.
We can talk about that in a minute. Jared Leto got a second chance at Joker. Better, still not good in my opinion. He was trying to channel a little Heath Ledger in there. Mm-hmm. Didn't really work.
Little Joaquin as well.
Little Joaquin.
This was reshot, by the way.
This was reshot.
Yeah, that was brand new. Which I was when I was watching this, I had forgotten.
Yeah, I see 6 people in the chat. You better be talking about what you like.
Yeah, we got 6 people in the chat right now. Tell us what you thought about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Spoilers, non-spoilers, whatever. Just let us know what you thought, or if you haven't watched it yet, are you gonna watch it? Please let us know. But just know this is a spoiler discussion, so just let us know. Share the video, subscribe, whatever you want to do. So yeah, what we were saying. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so we have the nightmare scene, and this scene was reshot. So when I was watching this, I forgot that Ana de Armas happened to Ben Affleck, and he got better and was I'm in
this again because I didn't really realize that he was thin, right? He was thinner in this. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he does. Oh wow, it doesn't fill his face. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
What? Okay, like him doing the like that. That was it worked in Dark Knight, and it doesn't work here. I'm sorry. The whole reach around thing, I was what?
Yeah, that was
what?
Weird. He's Batman's trying to give me a reach around. What are you talking about?
I was what am I watching right now? The one thing
I did like the dialogue though. I didn't like the.
I liked Joker. The whole I will kill you. I'm going
he said I will fucking kill you.
I will fucking kill.
That's what Batman said. He said, yeah.
I liked the whole callback to
Robin. I love the Robin talk.
I loved that.
And then the Harley,
because that made me
Batman
feel
says about Harley.
Yeah, because that made me feel I was oh, I'm glad I watched
BVS or Arkham Knight. You played Arkham Knight?
Well, but even in one of the animated movies,
Death in the Family.
Yes, that stuff. I was oh, I'm glad I knew about.
You felt in on it.
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
Yeah.
Although he did say adopted, which did he adopt?
So,
because I was
it's up in the air.
Because I know there's 4 Robins.
Sometimes he adopts. In some versions, Dick Grayson is his adoptive son. Yeah. But then in some other versions, Damian Wayne is his actual son. Is Batman?
Yeah, because originally.
But then he literally adopts Jason Todd.
Right. That's
so it's kind of up in the air.
Who's the one? Which one's the one that died?
Zack Snyder says Jason Todd.
Okay, but in the movie he's resurrected.
Oh no! Sorry, never mind.
Red Hood.
Zack Snyder.
Okay.
So Jason Todd is the one that is the one that the Joker killed in everything else.
Okay.
Zack Snyder says it was Dick Grayson.
Okay.
That he killed. So the regular Robin.
So okay, and then after that one, who's Nightwing?
Dick Grayson.
Oh, so in everything else, he's Nightwing, except in this, he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if this was going with Jason Todd was killed, it would have been cool to have some random actor that Zac Efron or something show up as Nightwing in the Nightmare scene.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
So that I liked that, and then I liked some of the dialogue, but some of it was just weird, the whole Retron thing. Like I said, that was just stupid.
Very weird.
Shut up.
But I loved when he was when Batman just threw it right back at him, and he was oh yeah, let's talk about dead things, because when Harley Quinn was dying in my arms, and right away you see
I don't know
nothing.
About
I think that was just
that was
this.
Just
okay. It was just clearly I think this was I think what we're looking at is Darkseid got the anti-life equation, took over Earth, corrupted Superman.
These gloves.
Yeah,
they look like gloves I wash the dishes with.
And they look like a Party City version of Doctor Strange gloves, the yellow and stuff. And like I didn't get like this card like you when you have this
like
I
the
get
Joker
that,
card.
I get
It's
that,
like this is a favor.
okay, this is another
Yeah.
thing too that like why is it out of focus?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Like
either.
why is the whole shot out of focus?
Yeah.
But yeah, when Ben hits him with the it's funny that you would talk about people who died in my arms because when I held Harley Quinn, and she was bleeding and dying. I'm literally just reading this as he's talking about. She begged me with her last breath. That when I killed you, it basically, and he says, and make no mistake, I will fucking kill you. Then I'll do it. That'll do it slow. And it's like, he just throws it right back at her. And I like the world building in this. That's like clearly Batman was like, all right, I need all the villains I can trust and all the heroes I can trust. We're going to make a team. And clearly a bunch of them have died over the years.
Yeah.
Including Harley. That's what I assume.
Do you think there was a plan for him to show up in the Batman?
For Jared Leto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'd assume.
Was Suicide Squad canon to this? Or no? Yeah, it was.
Suicide Squad or The Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad, because Ben Affleck's in this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ben Affleck's
Ben Affleck
in Suicide
okay.
Squad.
So, let's talk about...
oh my god, I forgot that this...
Oh, and the laugh.
Is
The
this
laugh
the
didn't get any
first-
better either.
Is this the first scene they've actually ever shared together?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
I just remembered that. Because
yeah.
he was just on top of the car
Right.
with Joker.
Right. And also
That's
are you guys Team Marvel or Team DC? I'm Team Marvel, but I think I agree with you, Danielle, that you said the other day. I like the darkness of DC.
Oh,
She said, are you Team Marvel or Team DC?
Age of Ultron wasn't dark enough for you? That was
Yes,
like the
it
darkest
was.
movie of all time. No, just joking. Because remember the trailers, everybody was like, this is going to be the darkest movie of all time!
I liked the cackling, not better. It was a little, maybe a tiny bit better. I just don't get like they really need to like. Does he watch like the old like performances?
Like it's like, what are you doing? Like, oh my god!
Like they honestly, they should have just brought Joaquin in and done the same thing. Oh my god, that'd been crazy.
Could you imagine if they were like, "Listen, Joaquin, this is going nowhere. We just need you for like 5 minutes." Like, do you think he would have said yes if he was just like, "Fuck it"? Like, let's do it. Like, I don't care. Like, he's like, oh, I've never worked with Ben Affleck.
I saw something that like they reshot like something with Ben Affleck and it was like in Zack Snyder's backyard or something like that. Did you hear that or did you see that anywhere?
Was
it this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I've seen pictures. There was like an image I had pulled up on IMDb where it's like he's just sitting on a car, like in the middle of grass, whatever.
Yeah, like because basically, Zack Snyder came out and said like they gave me a budget to do this, but filming wasn't supposed to be in the budget. Like he was like, I literally just filmed more stuff without telling them, which I think is funny.
So let's talk about the whole nightmare like Justice League 2, 3.
Wow, let's talk about what Bomb just dropped in the chat.
What?
When I think superhero, I think of DC superheroes first, but as films, I prefer MCU, but the MCU can be too family friendly. I like the darkness of DC.
That's fair. That is fair.
I would
Marvel can be too family friendly.
That is fair. And I think me growing up, I think a lot of people prior to 2008, really prior to the 2000s, whenever they thought superheroes, the only thing they thought of was DC.
I would agree with that.
And then now I think if you asked kids, I'm not saying that, I'm not surprised that Danielle said that because she's, similar age to us. But I think you ask kids now, I think they name 25 Marvel characters before they even name
25 DC characters.
Before they even name like one DC character. Well, maybe they'll
everybody
be
knows Superman, I feel like.
They might say Superman and Batman, but like they're going to say Hawkeye before they say Cyborg.
Right.
Yes, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like,
Like I used to watch like Teen Titans as a kid. I didn't watch whatever
absolutely.
Marvel shows there were.
Yeah.
So Justice League 2 and 3. So I'll try to do the whole like run around quick about the whole storyboard thing. If you want to look
Batman.
Yeah. If you want to look it up you can just Google it, it'll show up.
Yeah.
I think it's on a lot of websites now.
Yeah, I would just Google Zack Snyder Justice League 2 and 3 storyboards Reddit. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And then I pulled it up and it was the first link with all the info.
So basically, the whole thing is I'm trying to. Oh my god, now I'm like blanking. How does it start? I don't even remember. Doesn't like you
wanna pull it up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll just pull it up. Darkseid like wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically the whole thing is like
Yeah, because I didn't read the whole thing. I read basically the parts of it that were like the characters.
Right.
Like that talked about where the characters are at. But I didn't read the main like synopsis.
Yeah.
I
read like every single one that was there.
Yeah.
So basically like the whole thing is like that Lois is pregnant and it's Bruce's kid apparently, if I recall. That is like the whole story. And Lex Luthor gets together his team. We have Riddler's in there. There's a few other characters that I don't remember the name of, but they all seem to have like they're all fighting the singular characters. So like Wonder Woman, they all go their separate ways in Justice League 2, and then they fight those villains in their separate movies. And Riddler is tasked with solving the anti-life equation.
Yeah.
And basically there's kind of like a team up between No, there's not. Okay, sorry, I'm Googling this. I apologize. Justice League 2 3 Reddit storyboard.
Which to me is just crazy that like he's bringing like Zack Snyder's head is just like exploding with like just everything like what am I
if I can find it anywhere. What the hell?
Not really.
Can you imagine if it was like wiped from the internet?
Hey man, I would not be surprised. I would not put it past Warner Brothers. They wiped this movie from existence, didn't they?
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, just I love the fact that like Zack Snyder's like, yeah, let's bring in Riddler, let's bring in this. Like,
okay,
like,
yeah,
like
I'm gonna
expanding
try
it all.
to like skip around, but okay, so this is Justice League Parts 2 and 2A.
Yeah.
Okay. So although originally pitched as one film, we believe the characters' arcs of our heroes and villains, along with the epic battle of Darkseid, which unites the League, the world, and the entire DC universe, warrants 2 films. However, this does not mean that you have 2 films centered on Darkseid's invasion. Justice League 2 would be a very grounded, personal, and character-driven film that would follow the Justice League both together and separately as they mend old wounds on the road to becoming better and stronger heroes, while Lex Luthor recruits a league of his own, made up of revenge-driven villains introduced in the hero's solo films. Okay, so we have Dr. Moreau in Wonder Woman 2017. We have Len Snart in The Flash 2018.
Leo Snart,
sorry. I thought it said Len. Definitely says Len.
Captain Cold.
Orm in the Black...
Leonard Snart.
Yeah.
They call him Leo...
Right.
Lenny. He's got to delete it. But
we have
Leonard Snart, yeah.
Orm in the Black Manta in Aquaman,
which we did actually get
2018.
Yeah,
and we have the Riddler in the Batman. These films would link all of the DC films together. Like Empire Strikes Back and the last Harry Potter film, Justice League 2 would end up with a cliffhanger, revealing only that the end of the film, Lex and his league are connected to Darkseid. Then flash forwarding 5 years in the future where Darkseid has taken Earth. The hero's arc throughout parts 2 and 2A. Lois help the back from the dead Superman will learn to become Clark Kent again, feeling more human than ever as he and Lois start a family. Wonder Woman will connect with the Amazons and her mother, eventually becoming their new queen. Aquaman will help with the help of Mera, will bring the 7 kingdoms together. Flash will free himself from the past, releasing his father from prison with Cyborg's help and learning how to master his time-traveling abilities. Cyborg will evolve both into the modern-day god of digital age and into a human once again, which I guess that like not like literally human, but like human
he would
emotions.
I think it would be like he would find a way for himself to look human.
Right.
What I'll say on that,
yeah,
with the Flash section there of freeing himself from the past, aka freeing himself from the Speed Force, that directly ties into Ezra Miller's crossover on the Flash TV show.
Oh, okay.
Because on the Flash TV show, Ezra Miller, he says to kind of at the same time, Grant Gustin's Barry Allen is reality hopping because the multiverse is being burned away, basically. So he's trying to skip all these different Earths, and then they end up at the same Star Labs at the same time. And what Ezra is saying is he says, "Oh my God, wait, where am I?" And then Barry goes, and then sorry, I would use their actor names. Grant goes, what Earth am I on? And then Barry goes like, Earth? Wait, what year is it? When am I? And then Barry says something, or Grant says something, like they're both named Barry. Sorry, Grant says, he's like it's 2020 or it's 2019 or whatever it was. And Ezra goes, oh my God, I got to tell Victor he was right. I think he finally did it. And then that's when they start bantering. And then he's like, are you the Flash? And then Ezra's like, the Flash? And he's like, the Flash. And then it like skips, and then they're both gone again, basically. But that to me sounds like freeing himself from the Speed Force with the help of Victor. That's exactly what kind of all that dialogue on the Flash TV show was about. I still can't believe that the film Flash showed up in in the CW show. Like, I still can't even believe that really happened.
Batman will ultimately sacrifice his life for these unlikely friends and the woman he loves, leaving behind a legacy that will never truly die.
So the woman he loves, is that Diana, right? Because that's where he was going with that. Was it putting the two of them together, right?
No, he's putting Lois and them together.
But that just said that Lois and Clark were building a family.
I'm gonna read like the story, like the entire thing for like Justice. It's called the Justice League United, or Justice League 2, the Justice League United, 2019.
That was when it was supposed to come out.
That's when it's supposed to go. It was that's when it was like predicted, I guess, with this thing.
They missed that release date.
So we open with the Justice League in action during a natural disaster, working as the efficient, powerful team they've become. Week after, what does that say? I don't even know what that says. Week after JLI, Justice League something. Justice League 1, sorry. They act together, they save lives, but they're refugees, so political tension is high, the world is on edge. In the aftermath, the Justice League regroups, at the only headquarters they know, the Batcave. Flash is enthusiastic, while Superman remains a bit distant, at least with Batman, and Aquaman facing a continued skepticism of the surface world and his involvement in it by the people of Atlantis. Wonder Woman relates to Arthur. Her people abandoned the world long ago. It is clear that although the League is united, the world is not. The League goes back to their individual lives to mend old wounds, except for Batman, who's dealing with fresh ones left alone in the cave. Bruce and Lois. Bruce secretly meets with Lois, both of them still searching for Lex Luthor. There's there's kind of like a disconnect there where it's like, well, why is Lois searching for Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
Like, because that doesn't come in BVS at all, right?
No.
Does she even know?
Maybe because he escaped from prison.
Maybe, yeah.
So she's like a reporter.
Yeah.
Right? She's a journalist.
Right. There's tension between them since Superman has returned. The meeting ends after Lois tells Bruce that Superman needs her more than ever. Bruce knows Lois is hiding something else. Lex Luthor recruiting his own league. Meanwhile, deep in the Brazilian jungle, Lex locates Dr. Moreau, last seen in Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman 2, or Wonder Woman 3, I guess would be at that point. Still alive, experimenting on herself, prolonging her life, and testing new chemical weapons on unfortunate human lab rats. Like an obsessed stalker, Moreau has spent decades collecting information and artifact on Diana and the Amazons. Now that Diana has become known to the world, Lex offers Moreau a chance at revenge, the same revenge he wants on Diana's friends, Superman and Batman. Moreau accepts Lex and smiles, then let it begin. In the desert, whatever. With Moreau's help, Lex breaks Orm and Black Manta out of the desert prison, where they were imprisoned at the end of Aquaman. Outside of Central City in Iron Height Penitentiary.
Yeah.
Lex finds Len Snart where he was left in The Flash. Is that the main villain of this one? The Flash movie?
No.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Yeah, no.
And offers Len a chance to advance his weaponry and take down the fastest man alive.
I'm surprised
you should talk to the Parademon. You already did that.
I'm surprised they even are going with like Captain Cold for that.
Oh yeah,
I'm surprised. I mean, and he's not like he is a big villain, but like he's not like an endgame villain. Like he's like
Intercut Lex and the villains of the Justice League returning to their lives, and Metropolis Superman asks Lois when she was going to tell him. Tell you what, Clark? Superman says he can hear the second heartbeat, and she shouldn't call him Clark. Clark is dead. The world believes that too. Superman mistakes Lois' hesitation for fear. I won't hurt you, he says. At the Louvre in Paris, Diana and Menelip, is that her name? The Amazon who came to warn Diana about Steppenwolf. That didn't happen.
Who knows?
Discover there may be a way to remember the path back to the mascara. Diana must use the lasso on herself to unlock her mind. It's a dangerous process, but Diana wants to help Menelip home. And Diana wants to see her mother again, even if she might reject her. Diana puts the lasso on, and suddenly she's overwhelmed by visions in the beginning. They're wonderful for the first time in over a century. Diana sees her home soaring over the island. She sees the Amazons and finally her mother, but then her visions grow dark. Diana sees herself as the god of war. Wow, Kratos. Didn't know he was coming in this. In a battle with Superman, as she kills him, Diana cries out. Wow. See, these are some like these ideas are like I just love like this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Central City Courthouse, Barry's at a hearing thanks to Cyborg, Iris, and a troop of lawyers from Wayne. The state has examined new evidence that Barry and Vic have presented and agreed to reopen Henry Allen's case. Barry's elated, which again won't happen because Billy Crudup won't even be in the movie unless they recast his dad. But along an underwater continental shelf, Aquaman and Mera are in a violent battle with the last of the Seven Kingdoms, the Unseen. It explodes around tidal pools and active volcanic lava flows. Arthur has the Seventh King on the ground, his trident at his throat. The Seventh King tells him to kill him. Arthur says he wants an alliance, but the Seventh King refuses. Arthur leaves, frustrated. The last kingdom refuses to unite. In the Batcave, Cyborg upgrades the cave, even providing a female AI voice for Alfred, who has become a father figure of sorts. Looking at the empty cave around them, Cyborg asks Alfred why he's never home. Alfred solemnly replies because then he'd have to face himself. Batman and Lois on the hunt for Lex Luthor. Batman moves deep into the Canadian wilderness. This is something I thought was cool. Batman moves deep into the Canadian wilderness doing recon, following up on a lead that Lex may have been sighted in one of the remote towns. He fights his way through a secret location only to discover not Lex Luthor hiding out, but the Riddler. Awake for days, maybe weeks, Riddler has a long, inept beard. Unkept beard. His fingers dirty as rantings written across the walls of this cabin. He looks at Batman, a man possessed. Luthor asked the question. I had to know the answer. Lois is also on Luthor's trail. She's located Dr. Moreau's lair in the Brazilian jungle. Lois writes everything down in a journal, keeping it offline and private. She grows pale as she realizes who Moreau is and what Lex might be up to. He's forming a team of his own. They love that. They love that line. I'm literally just gonna read the entire fucking thing, so you better prepare yourself because I like.
How much?
There's a lot in here.
Okay.
I'll try to skip.
Yeah.
So I'll summarize this part. Okay. Batman faces off against Riddler, and Riddler says that he figured out like the anti-life equation, and then he kills himself. Yeah, he literally points a gun to it in his mouth and kills himself. I was like, wow, okay, that's if you want dark, that's dark.
Yeah.
Justice League comes together with their families. Wonder Woman and I can't pronounce her name. Menelip?
I don't know.
Menelipe. Arrive in the mascara, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so basically everybody's together.
Mm-hmm.
Lex activates his plan at the Three Rivers. Helicopters survey the area. Lex is on the scene. His team elsewhere, but in contact with him. Basically, because it's kind of coming back to me now. Basically, Lex like does this whole thing at the river, and Darkseid like takes the boxes, and he goes to the Batcave, and Lois is there.
Darkseid goes to the Batcave?
Yes.
Okay.
Darkseid kills Lois because Superman was on his way to confront Darkseid.
Mm-hmm.
And he told Batman to protect her. I don't remember quite how Batman ends up behind this glass that he can't protect Lois. Darkseid comes, kills Lois, and then takes
Batman
over.
watches.
Batman watches, takes over Superman because Superman is, you
Distraught.
just exactly.
Yeah.
Takes over Superman.
Well, that goes back to the nightmare sequence in BVS. You know, he literally says in BVS, doesn't he? He was like, you were supposed to protect her or something.
I think,
yeah. And he goes lies or something like that, and then he,
and then takes over Superman, and then we get the whole everything.
Everything is the nightmare.
Yeah, and basically, the ending, Justice League 2, is them in the nightmare whole thing, and then basically how they solve it, if I recall, is they have to tell Flash has to go back in time to tell Lois something before she died, or something like that. Something about Bruce's kid, that being Bruce's kid.
Well, when does Bruce go back, or when does Barry go back to tell Bruce that Lois is the key?
Oh fuck.
Because he's in his nightmare outfit in BVS.
Oh, I don't know. I have to shift.
Yeah, it's
he
fine,
does.
yeah.
I remember reading that. I don't remember when it happens.
It's fine. Yeah.
So that happens.
So that's the big secret, is that the kid has been Bruce's the whole time.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which I was like, oh, I can get down with that. I think that's kind of cool. It's a whole different twist. Cyborg has his legs cut off. He's got that's in here.
New cyborg legs.
Yeah, he's got different legs.
How very Darth Maul of him.
Which I think in this one you could really just put him back on.
I was gonna say that's why I meant how very Darth Maul of him. Oh no, Obi-Wan cut off my fake legs. What other will I do? Yeah. Put on new fake legs.
They specifically say he lost his legs. So I don't know.
Oh well, but doesn't it say that he becomes human again? So maybe he gets his legs cut off when he becomes human again.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff. I mean, what do you guys think in the chat about? Would you want to see Superman, Justice League 2 and 2A?
This makes me want to see the two movies.
Can I tell you something?
What?
You're never gonna.
What? I know. No, I know. That's why I said I don't think we ever will.
Yeah.
I think it's a possibility.
So this is what Zack Snyder said. So Zack Snyder, you talked about a little while ago, he's kind of been flip-flopping.
Yeah.
So originally he was like, no, I'm all done after this one. This was such a labor of love, and then we finally got it done and all that stuff. But now he said recently, I think even yesterday, he said,
Michelle said, I do not want to see Lois Baby being Bruce's under any circumstances. Is that in the comics at all? Or is that specifically
him? That's just this, yeah. What's it called? But so then Zack Snyder said very recently, he said, they gave me $45 million to finish this movie.
They gave more than that.
And release,
70.
However much it was to finish this and release it on HBO Max and everything. And that was a pipe dream. So he said, and then he said that was a pipe dream. A sequel was always much more likely, and they went with this one. So he said to me,
so
but
you could have had Justice League 2 or my version of 2017.
But this is what he said. He said, out of the two pipe dreams, he said to Zack Snyder, to me, I felt like the sequel was the more likely of the two, and they went with this one.
Yeah.
Meaning, if they went with this one, a sequel might be maybe possible, because he's like, if they went this crazy to restore this one, maybe they'll, it's not too crazy then to just make a sequel to it. So, and he sounded like he was open to it. So I don't know.
I think it'd be possible. An HBO Max thing.
But you would never be. The problem is the cast.
The cast is
that's
the
big problem.
They all love him though. That's the thing.
But the problem is that they all hate Warner Brothers.
Right.
That's the problem.
Again, Ray Fisher
problem is not the cast.
Coming back. I can tell you right now.
And
not
never.
Coming back.
Yeah. The problem is not. I shouldn't have said the problem is the cast. The problem is Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
The problem is that the cast and Warner Brothers do not get on well.
Right.
Currently. But yeah.
I think it'd be so cool. I just think what
I would love to see?
I think it's possible that they would crack at some point, because look what happened. People were yelling for it since this movie came out. Since they found out that there was some sort of
4 years.
4 years in the making. So I think maybe if there is a loud enough voice, which there obviously is, because like you said, trending was
Restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah. I think it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
you would just have to find a common ground between the cast and the executives.
What I think would be the best option for everybody, that would be the most likely, do the sequels and do them as DC animated. Do animated sequels to it. They do that all the time.
You get the same cast though, or no?
I think so.
For voice?
I think I think they would all do it. And Ray Fisher, Warner Brothers Animation is Walter Hamada has nothing to do with Warner Brothers Animation, because Ray Fisher doesn't even not like Warner Media. Yeah, Warner Media was the one that did the investigation, and they were just like, we don't really, I don't know. Walter Hamada was the one who was being a dick about it and was like going for his like jugular and was like, well, Ray Fisher really it goes to show the integrity of Walter Hamada, that Walter Hamada was on record saying like, oh, he was not the heart of Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's blowing out of proportion his role to sound like better.
Clearly not.
Well, that's what people were saying, was that like people were like, wow, Ray Fisher I believe everything that he said now, because they were like, Cyborg is the driving force of this movie. Yeah. Like without question. Like, so I don't know what the hell Walter Hamada was talking about, but that's where I would love to see it happen, because I don't think live
DC animation is consistently like bangers usually.
Yeah, exactly. Very. And the animation style is so like film quality. Yeah. You could do it, and you could absolutely like. If he doesn't have to get into shape and doesn't have to put his body through that and stuff, Ben Affleck would do it in a heartbeat. Yeah. Henry Cavill would do it in a heartbeat. Everybody would do it, and then they still have Gal, Ezra, and Jason. Yeah, they're all still signed on. So yeah, that's what I would love to see, and then have Zack Snyder direct it. Boom.
I just want a live action because I just like live action obviously more, but animation I could go for.
Yeah. I just would like to see the story. I don't even care. Yeah. Honestly, that's all wishful thinking. I don't need it to. Well, I would want Zack Snyder to be involved, obviously, but I don't need it to be him to be him directing. I don't need it to be the same voice actors. I just want to see the story. I just want to see where they were going with it and be like, man, that would have been really cool. Yeah. Like it, but it is really cool because I get to watch it. It's just animated, like that. I would be okay with. So what do you guys think? What did you guys think of the Snyder Cut? We thank you for joining us for all this. Is there anything that you guys in chat, want us to talk about the Snyder Cut that we haven't brought up? Any scenes that you like? Is there any scene in particular of the actual film?
Oh, sorry. Their son becomes new Batman. Sorry, that's the end.
Okay. Oh, that's the end of the.
That's the end of the whole thing.
Whole thing. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, it's a cool twist. Yeah.
I was gonna say something I forgot.
Okay.
No, just to wrap up.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't remember. Okay. So my final thoughts. I think I'll give my final thoughts. One thing I do wish, still the same amount of J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did he get so jacked for that?
I didn't think he was just getting jacked to get jacked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. I've always had in my head that was for that role. And he just, he looked like a normal.
Jim Gordon was going to bust out of the shirt. And
yeah, I thought it'd be really cool.
You did get more of him, though. You got more of it, like the walk around the precinct and stuff, and he was like, he was like, "Oh, my mother."
He didn't do anything. Not like Gary Oldman in Dark Knight trilogy, where he's like in almost. He's in like every other scene.
Bruce Wayne.
Sometimes just putting a coat around a kid's shoulders, let him know the world wasn't over.
Bruce Wayne.
I do miss the voice modulator in BVS. I like that.
Oh yeah. The suit. When Alfred's testing and he goes, he's like funnel fairy or something like. That was very, very funny.
But I thought it was a good movie with problems, and it was definitely better than 2017. I really want to love. I want to be like, I love this, and I just can't. But I think it's good. I like it.
Yeah. You want to give your star rating if it's changed at all due to
the
discussion?
3.5. Still
3.5.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with 4. I lowered it.
You lowered it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 4. I'm gonna go with 4 out of 5.
Talk you into a 4.
Yeah, you as the kids say, you Rise of Skywalker did. One day we'll review that movie, maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah. Quick context. I walked out of Rise of Skywalker and I was like, yeah, I really liked it. And then TJ over the course of a week made me realize I did not like it. But we will cross that bridge when Planet Council comes to it. But for this show, this was Planet Hero episode 11, our full in-depth breakdown, spoiler discussion, and review of Zack Snyder's Justice League, streaming now on HBO Max, so go check it out if you haven't. It's very bingeable. It's like a 6-part. If you just want to watch the parts, that's a really quick way to watch it, honestly, if you just want to watch it over the course of a few days. Because the parts, I think the longest part is 50 minutes, and then the shortest part is only 20. So it's a good way to watch it. But yeah, with that, I think that'll do it for this. Make sure to check the link in the description for some sick
This one's not available.
Merch. Yeah, that's just that.
That's
that
what
is
I
one
made.
that may be available in the future, though. We will be doing some. I guess I can tease that. We will be doing some exclusive designs for the show logos. We will be working on those. Those will be up at some point in the future, but they will be limited time only. But this is something you can buy right now, which is this beautiful Planet Film Network throw pillow. Look at that guy. Oh my god. And it doesn't just come in purple, by the way. It comes in like any color you want too. I just liked it on the purple. Check out our review or our video on the channel for the giveaway, for the WandaVision giveaway. Make sure you are subscribed to us. We're kind of racking up the subscribers. It's usually like one per day. Some of our reaction videos have been really popping off for us, doing hundreds of views, some not so much. I think it just depends on the video. But stay tuned, because on Monday, I do believe we will have a short reaction video out for you guys for, do you want to say what it is? Or should we tease it?
Godzilla vs. Kong.
For Godzilla vs. Kong. Boom. So stay tuned for a PFN Reacts to Godzilla vs. Kong on Monday. And then stay tuned on the channel tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be releasing our probably about 20-minute quick review of the Falcon and Winter Soldier premiere. So yeah, with that, my name is Sean Monk at PCityNyak on Twitter and on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You want to close us out?
Yeah, I'm TJ Cornwell. You can follow me at TJ_Cornwell on Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this after we went live, comment what you thought of the Snyder Cut.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would like to see Justice League 2 and 3, maybe in an animated form like Sean said, or live action. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for our Falcon Winter Soldier 20-minute review. Peace out.
Boom.